Cayman's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Brought to you by J. Michael, fashion for everyone. Good day, madam.
Good day.
Good morning, Blake and Aaron. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Great.
What's up?
Fantastic. All right. Let's look at a few morning headlines today. Happy Wednesday.
Mhm.
Still trying to get back into it after your holiday.
Come on, honey child.
Yeah, my brain was like, is it Thursday yet? Is it Friday yet? All right. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Okay. So a couple of police matters. Get those out of the way. The police say that they're looking for a man wanted after failing to return on his police bail. His name is Deviat Howard Pringle, 46-year-old resident of Bordentown. He's failed to return on police bail as required by his bail conditions. And they provided a photo of him saying that he's stout built, short, dark hair, and dark brown eyes. And he's encouraged to turn himself in to the detention center. But in case you know him or his whereabouts, please feel free to contact the RCIPS. They've got a confidential tip line.
You in trouble.
Yeah. He's gonna be in trouble. The police are also saying that they're investigating yet another armed robbery. This particular one took place at a bar on Franksand Road in Northside, where a man was robbed outside of that facility on November the 6th by a gunman. So that was Monday evening, and around 9:30 p.m., armed units actually responded to the location. It is reported that a man went, just took off after he robbed this patron. So very unfortunate that these things seem to be a little bit on the increase. And those are our only major sort of news stories today. We do have a feel-good story. We know you like to end on a good note.
I do.
Ministry of Tourism is sponsoring a local bodybuilder. This was the one who won the 2023 Mr. America title holder. I feel like I should have put on my Mr. America title holder.
Wait, what? Say that again now. The Ministry of Tourism is what?
Robert Thompson Jr., Mr. America title holder.
Yeah, the bodybuilder.
What do you mean we're sponsoring him?
He's a bodybuilder. So the Ministry of Tourism and Ports will sponsor him as he travels abroad to compete in other international bodybuilding events.
Hold on.
Is he American or is he?
Yeah, exactly. Now
he's Caymanian. He's Caymanian.
So Caymanian won Mr. America?
I know.
That's cool. Awesome.
Okay.
There you go. I get it. That's a cool thing. That's cool.
So Thompson Jr. is a natural bodybuilder.
You know Kenneth Bryan.
Yes, I know.
He used to be
Mr. Cayman.
Mr. Cayman.
Oh, yeah, right. So he must get it.
Yeah.
So Thompson Jr. is a natural bodybuilder, and he's scheduled to compete at the Drugs-Free Athletics Coalition World Finals Bodybuilding Championship in Australia on November the 12th. So that's a couple days. So he's going to travel to Seattle for the World National Bodybuilding Federation Amateur and Pro Championships from the 18th to the 19th of November as well. So he's got a couple trips coming up as he continues his journey of being his name? Robert Thompson Jr.
Robert, right.
Yeah.
They wear G-strings. They wear G-strings for that.
They wear little ones.
He's going to be G-string Robert.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of muscles, and I guess trying to show them off, you gotta wear as little as possible.
That's the nickname you get when you're.
So the minister has said that Robert is an example of the immense talent that exists in the Cayman Islands, and his focus in achieving excellence aligns with the Cayman Islands brand. And you know what is most interesting about this story? I think that Mr. Robert Thompson Jr. was one of those people who came from like the opposite end of being healthy and natural. And, and he really prioritized his fitness and got his health together, and kaboom.
Yeah.
Where's my
that guy used to be 500 pounds. I don't know if you knew that.
He made it happen.
I heard you. That's funny.
So,
I know.
You were 500 pounds? Oh, no, you weren't.
No, I'm kidding. What a transformation. What a transformation.
So yes. So, people should tune into the show today. Switch between 106 and Bobo, because today's show is going to be very, very interesting. We're going to be talking about a grocery thief who went into somebody's house and stole their groceries.
Eh?
Yeah, it's weird. But
That is
anyway, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our
Why don't you just go to
Caymanians entitled.
Why don't you just go to the food bank?
Some people.
Yeah.
I know. It just is too easy to get to the food bank, apparently.
What do you think? Are Caymanians entitled? What say you?
Me? Well, it's not an easy question, but sometimes we are, and sometimes we're not.
Okay.
And so we're going to break it down.
Oh,
Break it down on Bobo. Coming up. Thanks, Sandy. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Have a good one.
you too.
All right, folks. Good morning. We got a little bit of time here. Let me check. 1 minute before we go live on the radio. I think we need to play one of our live on the radio songs. Hold on.
Yeah. It's a the Cold Hard Truth News Podcast. Cold Hard Truth News Podcast. Come make we talk on the live broadcast. It's a the Cayman #1 live talk show. Come make we talk where you go up on the news. Locally, worldwide, every avenue. Cold Hard Truth Podcast. Bring it all to you. Where you there? CMR on the road. Cayman Island #1 talk show. I saw we chop it, Cayman Mall Road. I saw we chop it, #1 podcast. Yes, Massive and crew, tune in and stay tuned for Cayman hottest news for all the people. Cold Hard Truth Podcast, yeah.
Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's community radio. We are still spilling the tea and committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
I've come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman, live, direct, it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Good morning, Cayman. Rise and shine. Rise and shine, everybody. How are you guys doing? Happy hump day. It is Wednesday. I had to double check because I was like, what day is today, honey child? I couldn't remember. But it is Wednesday. How's everybody feeling today? I'm feeling good. I don't know about anybody else. But I'm feeling mighty fine, honey child. Mighty fine. Let me send out my links. And there's a number of things that we need to talk about this morning. And we're going to just do a deep dive into the conversations. So let me just see. Okay, so let me see now. Okay. All right. Good morning, Miss Morna. She's nice and early for El Clase today. So nice to see you. Let me send everybody the links before they begin to message me. Yes, ma'am. So we had a show yesterday that ended on a rather interesting note. And I want to pick up a little bit where we ended and talk about some of those things. Everybody was like, ooh, is Sandy having her apple cider vinegar? It was a replay moment last night on social, but no, I'm actually coming off the apple cider for a minute and just drinking my water. And I want to talk to you guys, though, about what kind of, set me off. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Honey, chill. Okay, I think everybody has gotten the links. If for some reason you haven't, let me know. Good morning to Miss Daisy. Buenos dias. Damien is here. By the way, we got Mr. Zeus in the studio. He's lying down sleeping. What a life. I wish I could come back as a dog that I owned, because some of y'all don't know how to treat dogs. So I wouldn't want to come back as just any old dog. We're going to talk about animal abuse a little bit later on. But morning, Damien. Leroy and Steven in the house. Miss Olivia is here. Good morning. KK. Okay, we're going to talk about that, KK. I'm not even aware of what that's all about, but let me know some details and I will certainly inquire. Let me just pin this message, KK. We can come back to that, honey child. Aliano's here. I saw Aliano the other day. So many of us have this rapport through the show where we talk every morning. We got over 300 views in the live stream already. The numbers are increasing. We talk every single morning. We feel like, we know each other up to a certain extent, right? And so it is weird, though, to think that a lot of us never hardly ever see each other. And so when I see someone, a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's you in the flesh. And it's like they want to pinch me to make sure I'm real. I'm like, okay, I'm real, honey Jill. It's me. But so I kind of feel the same way sometimes too, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I finally get to see Aliano in person, and everybody always looks different on camera versus in person. So it was good to see you. Saw him at Koshu the other day. I was there. I want to move my mat over, but Zeus is lying on my stress mat. Let me see if I can move it without upsetting him too much. Sorry, Zeus. He's a very chill dog. Like, oh God, now he's gonna lie right over my foot. Right. Okay, Zeus, you gotta move, because mama's gotta use her stress mat. I stand on one of these stress mats, come standing for 3 hours. It helps distribute the pressure on the foot a little bit. But anyway, now he's lying. He's like this. He's lying right between my feet. So yes, Zeus, little Zeusy, he's so cute. So, it's nice to be out and about and to see each other every once in a while. I feel like Cayman is so small, but yet so big. Like literally you can go a really long time and not see people. Liana, good morning. We'll come back to your comments, KK. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but we'll try to figure that out. Marshall and Felicia are here. First Lady is here. She says good morning to all the wonderful people of the Cayman Islands. Miss Juanita. Hey, Miss Juanita, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a minute. She says, good morning, Sandy. May God continue to bless you and keep up the good work that you're doing. Thanks to you. Thank you, ma'am. Miss Elaine says, good morning, Sandy and CMR. Love the Murder, She Wrote rhythm. Oh, yeah, I don't play those enough, and I need to play them more. Our radio listeners are like, what's that? I'll soon play it again so you guys can see. Good morning to Miss Debbie. Patricia Blake. Wee Wee's here. The beautiful Debbie Ebanks is in the house. She just went on a fantastic trip. Where was your trip again? Was it Thailand? Anyway, somewhere awesome. That is definitely a bucket list place to go. Morning to Mr. Richard. Him and Celine are here listening to the program most mornings. Miss Iva is here. Ingrid, the beautiful Ingrid. Good morning, Ingrid. Andrea, good morning to you, my dear. She says, good morning, my neighbors. Miss Sonia joining us from the UK still, I'm sure. Andrea says, when I see you, I run. No, really? I'm so chill in person 99.999% of the time. I'm actually a very chill person. Like, if you see me in person, sometimes you'd be like, is that the same woman? Because I'm just like, hey, what's up, honey chill? Yasmin, how you doing, honey chill? Beautiful people, she says, is all as well. Yes. Liana says we need some honey child t-shirts and mugs. I know we had some mugs. We need to do some more, to be honest. Yeah, we definitely need more merch. That's going to be my goal for 2024. More merch everywhere. So that's right. Come back as a fancy, well-treated dog, says Marshall. I know, right? Goals. Hashtag goals. KK seems upset by the police this morning. We need to find out what's going on. Morning, Miss Joy. Aliano says it's a celebrity shock seeing a superstar in public. Oh my gosh, no way. I'm just an average little squirrel, honey child, getting my little nuts together. Garcia, Miss Rosie, good morning. Leroy, how are you? He says, it's the first time I saw police walking on Eastern Avenue last night. Well, woo, that's a good thing, right? That's what we want them to do. Well done, RCIPS. Good morning to Miss Romelia. She's in Panama. Oh, honey child, I got some video footage this morning of some stuff that's going on in Panama. They just murdered a politician. What the what? I can share some of that with y'all this morning. Boy, I didn't know. I thought Panama was just a sleepy little place. Y'all kind of dangerous in Panama now. Behave yourselves. Yeah. I mean, I had no idea. Honey, I got like 4 videos of all kind of shootouts and all kind of stuff in Panama. Damn. Why didn't y'all tell me that Panama was crazy? Okay, we'll get there. But Miss Amelia, not business with that. She enjoying her vacation. Good morning to Miss Nicole. Keisha Mullings in the house. The beautiful Keisha. Hey, Keisha. Marshall says some of them got too good to walk now. Evelyn, good morning. Strong Wilt is here. Says, morning, Sandy. Happy Wednesday. Love your top. Can I get it? Sometimes I go in my closet. I'm like, have I worn that lately? I got to change things around because y'all be looking at me. Me and my bargain shopping. Miss Ann, good morning. Natasha, how are you? Ingrid says, chill and always sipping on your tea. Yes, honey. Miss Alba, buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás? Olive, did I tell you, Miss Alba, I actually bought a Spanish book recently because I want to start practicing more. Good morning, caller. Hello, sir.
Good morning.
You're live on radio. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Janusz Schuchman, and I just received a cancellation this morning for my trip.
I need to give you. I'm actually live on the radio, so let me do my radio show, and I will give you a call after 10:30. Yeah, we just have to rebook you, but don't worry, we're on top of it. Okay. Thanks so much. All right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
I didn't want that man to give you all his business on the radio once I realized what he was calling about. Johan calling me on WhatsApp? What? Sir, did you forget the show number? You are the worst person with technology, sir. 936-2626. All right. Jeez, I'm peace. I don't know what Pilar does with him. He probably don't even know how to use his phone. He be misdialing all kind of people. Oh, Miss Olive, hello. She's saying good morning to all of her classmates. Liana says they already got Kevin saying, what are you going to do with that from the robbery on his t-shirts? Oh, yeah, I saw that. Good morning, caller. Is that you, Johan?
Morning, Auntie Sandy. How's it going?
Good. How are you? You need to say what you need to do now is save this number as the talk show number. You see?
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to the CMR Mafia. What's up, my people?
Yes, everybody's good.
All right. Listen, I got a bunch of calls this morning, so I'm not gonna be able to listen in the way that I normally do. But I saw that your title was entitled Caymanians.
Question mark.
I don't know. Question mark. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad story that goes along with that. But I just wanted to say, as a proud Caymanian,
yes,
and just bear with me. If a Caymanian can't feel good, entitled, and protected in their own country, where can they ever be special and entitled or anything else? Americans in America matter. Israelis and Jews and those people in Israel matter. Canadians matter.
I know the people in the Gaza Strip don't matter right now, but go on.
No, but they're second class citizens, and sadly, I say that because and again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but anytime a Caymanian speaks up in a pro-Caymanian manner, we're always looked at sideways as if we're not supposed to say anything. And I'm just going to go out and say this. Everybody else is proud of where they come from. But the minute a Caymanian expresses some pride or demonstrates something of substance about, hey, this is Cayman and we matter, there's well, you're xenophobic or you're bigoted or that's discriminatory. Yet, when you look at the largest collection of people here on the island, they tend to be work permit holders. And yes, we're grateful that they can come and contribute to the society and, rent apartments, buy houses, and go to the grocery stores and help boost the economy. However, when you think about it, there's nobody more entitled in the Cayman Islands than people that come here, because everybody on a work permit automatically assumes that they're going to go from work permit to getting PR to getting status. And that's not how the process is supposed to work. You're supposed to integrate, you're supposed to contribute, you're supposed to pretend to like the people that you've chosen to live amongst. And sadly, there are many, many, many people that have come here that merely are tolerant of Caymanians and put on the face to say, and it's not everybody, but there's a large cross-section that if they could, they would live in the Cayman Islands without Caymanians or Caymanian culture and all of the things that make us unique. Yet they willfully chose to come here and to make this place their home. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because if a Caymanian can't matter here, where can they matter at all? And again, that isn't about putting somebody else down. That's about being proud of who I am, where I come from, and the country that I will live and die in for all of my life. Most Caymanians don't have a choice to go anywhere else. Those that have been given and gotten PR and then graduated to status, they are the luckiest people on the planet. Okay? You are the luckiest people on the planet, and it's better than winning $100 million in the lottery, because Cayman has welcomed you. You've made your contribution, but how many of them continue to integrate and really understand the people, the culture, and all the unique things that make us Caymanian? There's
all right. Well,
many.
To be very clear, that's not what I'm going to be talking about at all. But
we'll
give you a kaboom for that. Thank you very much.
I'm putting that out there because we have to be proud of who we are.
Yes.
Instead of being embarrassed. And not everybody is good, not everybody is bad. But let's talk about the Caymanians that make us proud.
Well, unfortunately, that's not what we're going to be talking about this morning. We're going to be talking about the ones who don't make us proud. But anyway, thank you very much, Johanna. Appreciate it.
Take care, babe.
All right, thanks. All right, so listen, I don't have no argument with what Johan said. We're all on the same page in terms of that, but that's actually not what we're going to be talking about today. As I said, we're picking up on where we left off yesterday. And if y'all were paying attention to where we left off yesterday, we left off talking about a certain segment of our population that appears to think just because you're a Caymanian, you can break any law and you can do anything you want. And there's a different set of rules for us versus a different set of rules for expats. And I know that a lot of our radio listeners would not have had the benefit because, like I said, we were off air by the time I started to get into this conversation. They would not have had the benefit of hearing those comments. So I just wanted to, some of it will be a little bit repetitive, but I'm going to obviously keep it clean for our radio listeners. But I want to be very, very clear on what my position is, because I am a little bit offended when people roll up on me and say certain things and do certain things, and they think just because they're a Caymanian, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, you can do that. You can do wrong. And I'm going to be like, oh, well, you're a Caymanian. Oh no, honey child. I'm not business of whether you're Caymanian or not when you're in the wrongdoing kind of business. Let's roll it back so we can explain the context here. So yesterday we had this man call in. I don't even know what he said his name was, from Nicaragua. And he talked about the fact that this Caymanian, he's working for a Caymanian young lady. I don't know how old she is. I don't know anything about her. except what I learned yesterday. Name is Colleen Cummings, and that she, a couple things he complained about: the excessive hours that he was working. He was only getting $6 an hour, which, you know what? On the one hand, he agreed to that. So if you come here knowing that somebody's going to only pay you $6 an hour, and it is what it is, then it is what it is. That's the minimum wage, right? That's legal. There's nothing illegal about paying somebody $6 an hour because that's legal. I think some of what he was saying is because of the excessive amount of hours that he was working. She had him working outside the terms of her work permit, which, for the record, she actually admitted on radio, which I was very, very shocked at. John, thank you, Marshall was his name. I was very, very shocked that she so dismissively admitted that and then be like, okay, whatever, let's move on, because he's not telling the full truth. Now, here's something I find about truth telling, right? If someone is, and there's always his side, her side, and somewhere in between. Zeus, stop eating your toy. Somewhere in between, there might be a little bits of shades of gray, right? Then I can understand that. But what I don't understand, and this is something that you have to, once you know human beings, you know that some people, once a person has been dishonest in one section, you kind of question everything else they say and they do. So this man was following up. John was sending us receipts. John was like, okay, here's my Miss Stacy, please come and get Zeus. He's trying to eat my mat. He's taking a piece off of it. Now he's trying to eat it. Zeus, you've been evicted out of the office. Ugh, bad doggy. My apologies, folks. So, once somebody has been dishonest about one thing, it really calls into question their entire character. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't see where he was lying about anything. Sometimes people exaggerate the truth, but like I said, pretty much everything he was saying, he was sending receipts and, saying, hey, this is what's going on. Now, is it possible for him to have miscalculated his, come Miss Stacy, is it possible for him to have miscalculated his, look, he took a chunk out of my mouth. Is it possible for him to have miscalculated his money and it's like maybe less or more, whatever? Listen, anything's possible. And that's why I said I wasn't really getting into the numbers of, like it's $6 times 2.5 hours here. And let the Department of DLP, Department of Labor and Pensions, figure that out. That's their job. That's what they are there to do. There's obviously some discrepancy with his salary. She claims that she has been calling John. John said, I don't have any phone calls. Listen, it's easy to screenshot and show that there are no phone calls. John was sending receipts left, right, and center about what was going on. So I appreciate John for sending his evidence to back up exactly what it was that he was saying. Now, what kind of really got me, and I mean, he even has a receipt here from Miss Colleen. And again, I can certainly show you guys all of the stuff that he sent. There's no problems there. He sent it in order to prove his evidence, to prove his case. So one of the things that that John has provided is a screenshot from her, right? That says, let me just see if I can download this. Hold on one second. That has a breakdown of some salary and some figures and some numbers. And it says, August pay, John B. And then it has 270 by 4. That's 1080, extra work, health insurance, and then it had a total there. Now, it looks like John is saying that some of that money seems to be outstanding, right? John has also shared with us the fact that let me just see here. John has also shared with us the fact that he has been working outside the terms of his work permit. He's provided more than sufficient evidence to prove that that's true. And to be quite frank and honest, it was not something that she ended up denying once we reached out to her on radio, right? So let me just see here 1 second. So yes, it's just one of those situations where, he was, I didn't feel that he was telling any lies. I'm not here to swear for him, and I'm certainly not here to swear for her. What really started to make me concerned is Caymanians who are saying, oh, Miss Sandy, listen now. It doesn't really matter what John says. You guys are being dismissive of him just because he's a foreign worker. You automatically were prepared to take the side of the Caymanian. Even if the evidence was against her, it seems to me that a lot of you were like, you know what? She's a Caymanian. And I said, well, what does that have to do with anything? This is the entitlement that I'm talking about, right? Everything Johan said is fine. Agree 1,000%. But you don't get to be entitled just because, when it comes to wrongdoing, just because you are a Caymanian. This will be one of those core principles that will honestly be the ruination of our people. And in fact, it already is going in that direction. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean by that. Yeah. So she called in. She said she was trying to WhatsApp me some stuff. I'm not really sure what was going on there, why she was not able to send it across. I still haven't received it. But at the end of the day, there's some core principles here that are very, very problematic for me. On this platform, I have said time and time again that we call out everyone regardless of who you are. It is a principle of equality without fear or favor. Okay? So I'm not going to be afraid of anybody. Once it's the truth will stand on its own two legs. I'm not going to favor anyone, whether you are family, friend, or foe, or whatever. The truth is the truth. And when someone shows up with their evidence of what the truth is, they're going to show you, right? As John did, photos, screenshots of videos. John is going to show you, handwritten screenshots of his money. It does not appear to me that this man is trying to hide anything. Yeah? Someone who's trying to hide something, they're not going to be like, okay, Miss Sandy, let me just screenshot and send you everything. Right? So let me show you. I'll show you what he's been sending me. Okay. Let's see it. Let's break it down. When I saw the comments, and it was only a few people, to be fair, a handful of people, saying, oh, she's a Caymanian. This is what's wrong with us now. Like, Caymanians need to get a pass. Like, take it off air. Let's have this conversation in secret because she's a Caymanian. I'm like, I wouldn't be doing this, having conversation in secret, if she was a Jamaican employer or a Canadian employer or American or English or anybody else. So you see, this was sent, I don't have a date on this, but it says I don't know, it says you in town, but it says you, I'm in town. And then it has this breakdown here. And so this looks like what he's saying that he's actually owed. And we can call John back and certainly clarify the exact amount that he says that he's owed. But again, for me, the exact amount really isn't the problem here, right? Here he is again. This looks like the farmer's market. I'm not sure exactly where this is, but this looks like maybe this could be at the farmer's market or somewhere else. We see John here working. You know, he showed evidence of where he's working. She says, oh, you know, he didn't have a green thumb. He was killing all her plants and this and that. But for someone who was doing all of those things, he could surely be handy in other ways. They had him working, driving, what is this thing that he's driving? One of those little, you know me, child, I don't know what it is, but one of those things in the warehouse, forklifts in the warehouse. He was good enough to send to Ruba's promotional event. So he was good enough about all of these, to do all of these things, but he wasn't good enough to work on the farm. Listen, I'm not quibbling with her because I don't know anything about a farm hand and what she expected him to do and, you know, what the requirements were of that particular job. But the thing is, if you hire John for a job, you get him on a 3-month work permit and he does not work out as you says he hasn't. It is so interesting to me that you could find opportunities to have John all over the place working here, there, and everywhere. He wasn't a good worker? Really? So what the hell was he doing at a Ruba's promotion? He wasn't a good worker, but he was sure good enough to put him in a Ruba's pure summer promotions shirt and have him assisting with the setup of the event. Come on now. Let us be prepared to pick sense from nonsense. Caymanians have no entitlement, okay? When you are in the business of doing wrong. Let me say something. It is very easy to do the wrong thing. Sometimes it's easier to do the wrong thing than it is to do the right thing. A lot of times it's easier to do the wrong thing. Trust me, every single day we're faced with choices. And you know how easy it is to break the law. Whether it's traffic laws, immigration laws, more serious laws, it is easy to do the wrong thing. It is much harder for you to remain principled and to say, no, I'm not going to do that because I know that's against the law. That's morally wrong. That goes against my beliefs. That goes against the laws of our country, right? It's easy to take a payback from somebody, a kickback from somebody, put that in your pocket and not have anything to say about issues and topics. Now I'm talking about myself here. It would be easy for me to jump on the bandwagon with certain people and their ideologies and ideas that they want to push forward in this country. Believe me, you. The pressures exist to do the wrong thing. The financial rewards are there if you are prepared to sell your soul. When she talked about, well, Sandy, you know, I'm a small business owner. My God, girl, I get it. I'm a small business owner too. And I understand how difficult it is to be a small business owner. You don't think I understand it? Hello. I've been there. I'm there now, and I do it and get up every single day. Right? From having a separate retail space where now you got a mortgage plus rent, 2 utility bills, 2 water bills, paying CUC twice. You try to hire Caymanian staff and pay them. Don't even get me started on how that worked out. Right? You try to please your customers. Some of them can be a real pain in the rear end, but you know, you try to provide the best customer service. I mean, it is very, very challenging. I understand that. And still, the challenges don't mean that you get to break any laws. If you are so challenged that you cannot follow the laws, what you need to do is come out of being a small business owner. It's not for everybody. Yeah. So that's not an excuse. And, you know, I don't know why when people say that, oh, it's so hard being a small business owner. I'm like, did somebody tell you it wasn't going to be hard? Because if they did, they lied to you. Of course it's hard. What are you thinking? But we cannot, as a community, sit back and say, well, you know, give her a pass because she's a Caymanian. I believe that as Caymanians, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard than anybody else out there, because this is our country. You know, Caymanians always say, this is where my navel string is buried, and this is where I was born, this is where I'm going to die, and this is where my body's going to be buried. Yes, that's all great, and those are wonderful words. But if you can't even follow the rules of this country, right, be an upstanding citizen, don't purposely, sometimes you might break the law, you know, you didn't do it intentionally, but don't purposely break the laws of this country. To me, it is actually pretty simple. We don't get to be entitled to the point where we can say, well, you know, it's my country, I'm going to go ahead and destroy it. In fact, that is precisely what is happening with different situations like marriages of convenience. The biggest immigration issue in this country stems from us as Caymanians, and we need to accept that. You know, we are destroying this country quicker than any foreigner ever could. But it is easy and it's politically expedient to talk about just the foreigners and what they are doing. Everybody is going to pat you on the back because that's the popular position. When you say, you know, these expats, they this, they that, they blah, blah, blah. What about us? Where is there ever going to be any accountability for the part that we play in all of this? And we have a lot of ownership to take in this situation. Every single MP that has let you down and that has sold us down the river has been a Caymanian born and bred in multiple generations. We don't have, and listen, if they're selling you out to foreign interests, if they are giving all these foreigners, you know, concessions, they are still your people. They are Caymanians. Look at the last names. You can't mistake them for anybody else. Some of the core names, the McLaughlins of the world, right? We got Panton, we got McLaughlins, we have, who else up in there? Ebankses, we have Bushes, more than one of them. Connolly's, these are Caymanian born and bred, multiple generations. They're going to tell you, oh, my forefather's been here for 200 plus years. So we have to be prepared to take some accountability for the fact that Northwood Prison is busting at the seams. And it is busting at the seams with primarily Caymanians. And the non-Caymanians that are in there, who are drug runners and bringing in guns into this country and committing other crime, are coming here by invitation. Because our people are entertaining the criminals from all over the world. We let them in. We marry them. We're sleeping with the enemy in our own beds. We're taking on, and perhaps they're taking on, our principles. Some of our people are no good. And the sooner we stop cuddling those individuals, we stop, you know, placating the behavior, and we stop accepting this idea that, oh, we're going to turn the other eye to bad behavior because the person is a Caymanian, the further ahead we will get. So this concept that this young lady, whatever the situation was, she called in, she was given, and I wanted her to give her side of the story, and I was listening very intently, right? And I am hearing her admitting to breaching immigration laws. I'm thinking, oh, but let's not focus on that. I only owe him $130 something. No. We need to focus on that, right? We need to focus on deputy board members breaking our laws with no fear of any consequence. In fact, the chair of the board telling them, you're a good girl, we're not gonna do nothing to you. Don't pay Sandy no mind. Yeah? So the foreign workers are sitting here watching us break our own laws. You think that they're going to have any respect for our laws when we don't even have respect for our laws? Come on now. Let's be honest. Call her off air because her job might be in jeopardy. Well, her job might be in jeopardy, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with her. Put the responsibility and the blame where it properly lies, because it has nothing to do with me. You all do stuff and want to live this duplicitous lifestyle. Yeah? You know, you're working in the legal department as an article clerk in the Cayman Islands. If anybody should be following the laws of this country, gosh darn it, it should be you. You shouldn't even want to spit on the sidewalk. You should be towing the line like a tightrope, walking it real tight. You want to be a lawyer in this country. You know, lawyers, despite what you all think, are supposed to be champions for justice and the right thing. Not liars and deceptive people. Not people who would be willing to break such simple laws like the immigration law. Not people who find it hard, even if it's $135, that might be no money to you. You can be dismissive about it. But $135 can go a long ways in places like Nicaragua. These people come here under the most egregious and poor conditions. And I think that when you take someone who's already disadvantaged and you could mistreat them in any way, shape, or form, whether it's overworking them, oh yeah, well, he works 6 days a week and I don't know what he was doing when I wasn't there. It's like, really? I mean, the pictures kind of show somebody that looks like he is pretty hard working to me, but like I said, I'm not here to judge. But you could have him all over the place helping you out, working here, there, and everywhere. I mean, there he is. He don't look like a lazy person, but I mean, I don't know. But you're speculating about, oh, only God knows what he was doing when I wasn't on the farm. Really? I don't think that's a fair comment to this man. Yeah? You can't treat people because, you see, the thing is, the least of us, right? How you treat the least of us says a lot about the kind of people you are, the kind of person you are. If you can mistreat someone who is coming from nowhere, who has nothing in life, and just because you feel like you got a little one up on them, to me, those are some of the most horrible people in the entire world. I would rather see you mistreat a person of financial means, a person who, you know, at the end of the day, can fend for themselves. They've got money in the bank. They've got alternatives. When you take a person that's already downtrodden, right? Trying to make ends meet, they're poor. They don't have a lot of skill set. They don't have a lot of options. Because you know you can abuse them and they're going to still be right there. So where are they going to go? And that's one of the reasons why we have women coming here, getting involved in prostitution, because they don't have no choice. Listen, I've spoken to some of them. One was on this show. I'm not going to tell y'all who she is now. But when I saw her in person, I spoke to her and she was saying to me, oh, Miss Sandy, Cayman is so hard. You don't know what I've had to do, sleeping. And I said, honey child, why don't you just go back home? Prostituting yourself, why? Don't go to another man's country and do that sort of thing. But you know what I realized? That was still better than what she had in Honduras. And safer to be here in Cayman. I mean, at least if she's prostituting herself here, they're probably going to pay her. They're probably not going to sexually assault her on top of it. Most people here are going to pay you a little money, $50, $100, whatever the going rate is. In Honduras, she would have it so much worse. But I'm like, don't come here and destroy my country doing this kind of foolishness. I don't want you to come here and do that. I think you should go home. But I understand the realities of me being in a privileged position to say, go home. Although I believe that's exactly what you should do. It's easy for me to say, go home. But yet, part of me completely understands the desperation of these people. Because I have been there, not to that extent, mind you, I'm going to be very, very clear. But I have been in a desperate situation. I have been like, okay, I don't really know where my next meal is coming from. And in those moments, it is so easy for you to do the wrong thing, for you to prostitute yourself, for you to steal from people, for you to hurt other people to get what you need to be able to survive in this world. And to think that those are the same people that you're going to turn around and take advantage of, I feel a personal affront about that sort of thing. It is wrong on a completely different level. And what we have happening here in this community is akin to slavery in a lot of instances. The conditions under which I have heard people having to work, even domestic helpers. Y'all got all 6 children piled up on them about they must mind this basket full of children. And then you turn around and tell them, oh, they got work 24/7. They don't get a day off. They don't get a break. Oh, well, they're living with me. You heard the logic? Well, he's getting a free place to stay. So what more does he want? Right? That doesn't give you a right to abuse people. People need their personal time. They need their personal space. Everybody's having struggles. People have mental health. They just need a break. So listen to me. I just want to reiterate and make it very, very clear. Nobody gets a pass. Caymanians, you should be held to a higher standard. You should be setting the bar for everybody else to follow. Y'all got upset with me about, not y'all, because most of you I know are pretty sensible people, But I heard 1 or 2 comments. Shay McLaughlin is a perfect example. She's apparently taken Carmelie in now, staying with her. Kudos for her. We'll see how that works out. But I can't believe that she would talk about her sister. Did she do wrong? If she wasn't my sister, would her situation have been featured in CMR? Yes. If she wasn't my sister, the things that I said, would I have said them? Yes. So the fact that she's my sister factors in how? Remember what I said? Without fear or favor. Yeah. You see, y'all didn't hear the full story. Some of y'all weren't paying attention while you're jumping on like, can't believe Sandy did that to her own sister. Because what I did is I gave my sister, like I do a lot of other people, the benefit of the doubt, said, hey, this story has come to me about how you've assaulted someone in the streets of the Cayman Islands. What is this all about? This is going to be featured in CMR. You know what she did? She tried to pull the card. Don't, you don't feature that. I'll give you the full exclusive story when I'm ready. That's not how it works. That's like me calling one of these politicians and say, yeah, I got this scoop. You want to comment on it? Oh, no, you hold on to it to when I'm ready. That's not how it works. It don't work that way for my sister, my brother, my daddy. He's not alive, but if he was alive, it'd be the exact same thing. That's not how it works. So you can be dismissive of when you're contacted for comment, but that does not mean the story is not going to go forward. That doesn't mean that the truth will not be revealed. Yeah. So again, it strikes me as interesting that Northwood prison is full of Caymanians. We have Caymanians out there are the ones who are committing the robberies, our own people murdering each other, right? Stealing and doing all sorts of wrongdoing. Too many of us are prepared to turn a blind eye because they're family and give them excuses. I hear somebody, oh, this person in court, they didn't get a fair chance because they're Caymanian, so their case wasn't heard. Their extraordinary circumstances weren't heard in this particular case. I'm like, for people to say that, who've never even been to court and sat down and watched any transactions in court, really makes me wonder where their heads are at. Caymanians have access to legal aid. They have access to the same lawyers, right? Maybe a foreign national can not have to go through legal aid and have, limitless funds so they can bring in QCs left, right, and center. But I can tell you one thing. Legal aid, especially on the criminal side, pays for a lot of QCs for people. You face a murder charge, they bring in a QC to handle your case, and some of the best in London too. I get it that as a Caymanian, we're feeling more and more like the minority in our country. We're feeling disenfranchised. Sometimes job opportunities are not being made available to us. I understand all of these issues, but we do not help ourselves, right? When we start to find every excuse in the book for our people to do the wrong thing. It's the same reason why some Caymanians don't want to show up to work. They're always late. They have this attitude of entitlement. This is the kind of entitlement that I'm talking about, right? They have entitlement. They're the same ones that sit down and say to you, well, if I want to have 50 children, I'm a Caymanian. I can do that, Ignorance and entitlement are two very different things when they're combined together. They're very, very, very dangerous. And this is the path that we have already begun going down. And it strikes me as shocking and unusual when intelligent people, so-called intelligent people, start to say, give this person a pass just because they're a Caymanian. She should have been thinking about her position and her job beforehand. Now, here's what's even more shocking. Other people have reached out to me, and these are people who are in a position to know what they're talking about, law enforcement and other people. And they have said, that's not the only person that she's done that to. Let me try and get the name of the other people. I'm like, okay, send it through. Because then you see a pattern of behavior begins to emerge here. And then you realize that it has nothing to do with John from Nicaragua. It's people looking to abuse their workers. Now, a lot of Caymanians have gotten the memo that it's easy to abuse foreign nationals. And there's some people who are particularly susceptible to being abused. Filipinos, for example, is one example. Because they come across as very humble and meek individuals, although they probably poison you behind the background. So keep messing with them people. Yeah. I have seen it time and time again. There's one case which we've highlighted, and these people, once they've been exposed on CMR, they get together and they'd be like, oh, Sandy she's such a bully. I'm a bully because I tell the truth. I said, well, okay then. Let me give you all an example. Ruth Anna, when she had her salon, she loved to hire herself a Filipino. You see, you're not going to mess with too many Jamaicans when it comes to their money, Because, at some point, they might chop you up. You keep messing with them. They're more likely to talk. Look at what Ruth Anna was doing to poor Stacy. How long you went without your salary again? I can't even remember. Ridiculous abuses. There's one Filipino guy to this day. Years later, he's already rolled over multiple times and come back. Ruth Anna still owes that man money. Oh yeah, I can pay you. Here's a $200, and then a year later, she's not paying him nothing else. Oh, don't go to labor, don't complain. I think some family member died, and he needed the money to try and help with the burial. Oh, here's a little $500. And it's like, I sit there and I hear this young man, because I go to the salon where he works now. And I hear him complaining about, wow, it'd be so nice if I could get this money that's been owed to me for years. And I'm thinking, why do you allow this woman to do this to you? Why don't you let labor handle it and get your money back for you? Right? These are the people who are abusing foreign nationals and abusing workers. They wouldn't dare do it to Caymanian. She's a West Bear. Long line of E-Bank says, everybody know her father is the accountant, Mr. Young. Right? Long line of E-Bank says she's family too. Make her go do that to one of them West Bears and they would, you know what they would do. It wouldn't go so. But yet you can do it to the poor Filipinos. You can do it to the poor people of Honduras and Nicaragua, and you can try it with the Jamaicans. Yeah. I remember when I first met Miss Stacy had messaged me and said, oh, I've been wanting to reach out to you for a long time, but like I felt a way about it and da-da-da. And then she started telling me what her situation is. See, she owed Stacy 3 to 4 months salary. And this was an ongoing thing. She never paid Miss Stacy on time. Always some excuse, always some story, blah, blah, blah. And so I think Miss Stacy had said to me that she saw me during COVID at one of the vaccine clinics. And I think she might've said hi or whatever, but she's like, I wanted to speak to you then, but then I felt a way about it. It's such a shame to make people feel like they are begging you to give them what they have worked for. This is our own people doing this. I see Rough Seas talking about, Caymanians hurting. Really? That's the excuse? That we're the ones hurting, so we're going to hurt and abuse other people? If you're hurting so much that you can't afford a full-time helper and putting your child in a private Montessori school, then don't do it. Because if you're hurting, you can't afford both of those things. You see, this is where Caymanians, again, need a dose of the truth. A lot of us hurting because of poor financial and fiscal decisions. A lot of us are hurting because we're putting our hat too high and we want too much and we don't know how to properly get there. How are you going to have a child, right? In a private Montessori school, don't pay the friggin' bill and then turn around and have a full-time helper not paying her either. But yet, living your best life, dressing up, makeup, pretty face, and dirty behind, as Aunt Lottie used to say, going out around people, on talk shows, on radio. You want to be a politician? You going to run for this seat and that seat in West Bay? Rough Seas. That is the real reality and the real answers we need to talk about. Oh, yeah. And because they're Caymanian owners at the Montessori school who are going to feel sorry for you, they're not the ones who are going to take you behind to court to say, you better pay your fees. Oh, let's give you a payment plan, which, by the way, you're never going to pay. How much can you be hurting, Rough Seas, when you go into a clothing store? Get clothes that you can't pay cash for on credit and then never pay the people them back all a year later. The bill for, I can't remember the amount now, might have been $100, $200, can't get paid. You really hurting? Then don't go shopping. It's called cash or carry. If you don't have cash, you can't carry it. Too many of our people are ridiculous. Go back and read this open employee letter to her from 2020, right? Where the person talks about how they are struggling. And by the way, another Caymanian struggling to make ends meet. See what the person said? Let me start at the beginning. When I get my job with Ruth Anna, I was desperate and had been unemployed for some time. In fact, CMR Sandy Hill assisted me with getting in contact with her. She gave me a chance, and for that, I will always be grateful. Ruth Anna said to me that she was not hiring me because I'm the best, but hiring me for me to go places, train me and prep me for the working world and see me on my way out. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. But before long, I realized that Ruth Anna was not a genuine and honest person. These are our people I am talking about. Both Caymanians. After working with her for a year and a half, the one who claims that she was preparing me for better things gave me a poor reference, saying that she was not responsible for my actions, like I was a common thief or something. I had to literally chase her down for the reference letter as though she did not want to give it to me. My new job depending on it. She was good enough to keep her working though, right? She got a little new job. She needed this reference letter, and you see what the Caymanian did? Gave her a bad reference. My new job depended on it, and without it, I could not start my employment. I received it several days later than the deadline given, but thankfully, the new employer was understanding. When I see people online commending her for being an amazing woman, I have to wonder if we are even talking about the same person. Saying that she has integrity is far from the truth. She's not an exemplary person and has a lot of hardship. The poor people trying to make ends meet and survive. I can't help but wonder if you all would be so understanding if that was your salary and your benefits not paid. Would you be telling her years later that she was a great person and thanks for doing the right thing? I would think not. People in Cayman must be cold-hearted or just easily fooled. I'm not sure which one to believe anymore. This was a Caymanian mother with 4 Caymanian children. Yeah? Chasing up money. See the promissory note here? This document from 2019 serves to confirm that effective on December the 15th, 2018, so-and-so terminated her employment with our organization because she wasn't getting paid. Furthermore, it serves as my promise to pay all outstanding wages. Let me show you all this, because this is what our people are prepared to do. And there are too many of you prepared to turn a blind eye to the situation. Let me see. Yeah. Look at the amount of money that was owed here to this one person. This letter was January 2019. Money outstanding from October of 2018, $624.50. Next payroll, $1,275. Next payroll, $1,326 plus $630.30 in commission. Then January, another $663 plus another $308. People are working hard for their money. Working commission. And our own Caymanian people who want to talk about, oh, they're having hardships. Right? They're having such a hard time. They are out there doing this to other people. Predominantly foreign nationals. Because like I said, if it's a West Bay would to chop her ass up. But this is what they're doing to foreign nationals. You can imagine. Somebody do the math. Where are my mathematicians in the house? Hold on. Owing somebody $624 plus $1275 plus $1326 plus $630.30 plus $663 plus $308.40. By my calculations, that's $4,826.70. You know how much money that is to somebody from Jamaica, from Honduras, from the Philippines, where the currency is 70 to 1? That could build them a house in the Philippines. Do you know how those poor people live? This is, y'all want to sit back and talk, oh, it's just money. No, sir. This is egregious. People are committing suicide over the fact that they can't even make ends meet in this country. And y'all have the audacity to put people in this unfortunate position? And you put together this promissory note? You think this person has ever been paid in full? To this day, there are people who never got their salary. To this day, there are people who owed pension and insurance. Y'all want to know how bad this is? One of her workers got pregnant, had to go to the hospital for some pregnancy-related challenges, only to find out she had no insurance. The insurance was just being taken out. Sorry, the insurance had been taken out all this time, and there was no effective insurance plan in place. The woman ended up having a miscarriage. No children. She has no children at all. This could have been her only child. And you think the stress of finding out that, oh, wow, you have no insurance coverage? You think that's a nice thing? And she worked for Ruth Anna's salon. That woman lost her baby. I'm telling y'all, you need to have a conscience. Caymanians need to do the right thing, and we need to have a conscience. All I can tell you is, as a mother of one, I would have found Ruth Anna and beat her over that situation. That wouldn't have gone so. But this is what these poor people are having to endure. But you see, we have a double standard in this country. If you got pretty face and you got, I guess, a certain family name, I don't know, and people like you, you're likable, you get a pass. Because the previous opposition, knowing full well that she owed people money left, right, and center, turned around and gave her a full-time job running the opposition office. And when it was brought to their attention, they want to pretend like they didn't know, but that was a bold-faced lie, because I know that some of her workers had spoken to them. Let's talk about it. She owes a Caymanian woman right now in Newlands. The original bill was over $20,000 because she went and lived in that woman's house for a year plus and never paid a single dime in rent. $20,000. And that's a Caymanian that owns that house, that has a mortgage to pay. And to this day, the woman's still not paid in full, and that's been years. What I'm saying to you all is, as a community, we need to be less focused on the fakeness of it. That, oh, I can put on makeup and look good and get up on a stage, a political stage, and talk the talk. I better be prepared to friggin' walk the walk and do the right thing by people. Being a business owner is not easy. It's not for everyone. And if you're not going to do the right thing, then don't go in it. Her stepmother was running that business perfectly fine until the father came in and said, oh, I want to be able to give my daughter this business. Based on what? What business experience does your daughter have? And she ran it right into the ground, where she ended up having to be evicted from that same building because the rent also wasn't getting paid. Then she, owing all this money all over the place, then she ran to the Colonels again, put her face, must have got that lease signed, because clearly they didn't do any background checks, and they had to evict her from there and lock up the place and sell off the goods for non-payment as well. I'm just saying, this is but one example of Caymanians who time and time again have proven and demonstrated that they are simply not prepared to do the right thing. And to me, that's a problem. And to me, it's so shocking that forward-facing individuals, right, who are, oh, I'm a fabric of this community is what they want you to believe, are the very ones who are prepared to break the laws. Someone training to be a lawyer, like I said, should be the last person to be thinking about breaking any laws in this country. We're going down a very dangerous path of lawlessness. It's no wonder the politicians feel like they can do it too. Not a good look. It's just unbelievable. So listen, I can't support the foolishness. And Alfredo says, but listen, you have Lash Out doing the same. I came across a report from Labor and Pension just yesterday where they disclosed that she breached the law. About 4 of her employees filed a complaint. Where are the employees, Alfredo? You see, this is a platform that is available for people. If Lash Out is on the list, by all means, they need to come forward, send the list. Let's talk about it. Nobody. This is my whole point, Alfredo. No one is above the law. Come forward. Foreign nationals, y'all need to stop being afraid. Just like I tell Caymanians, y'all need to stop being afraid. If you're being abused at the workplace, being taken advantage of, tell your stories. All employment abuses need to stop. And I don't care who is on the employer end. It does not matter to me. All right, folks. Are we crystal clear? Right? That I can't accept wrongdoing from my own people just because they're my own people? And in fact, I'm going to be giving you a little extra side eye. So I feel sorry for Colleen if there are going to be consequences for her breaking the law, but there should be. You don't get to break the law without consequences. And if, it, like I said yesterday, somebody said, and enough kabooms, all right, let's do one. If Sam Bulgin got a hold of that show yesterday, and he's like, whoa, this is not the caliber of Caymanian that we want to be given articles to. Because let's be honest, there are a lot of other Caymanians out there who deserve articles and who are doing the right thing that could have gotten that opportunity. That's not my business. That has nothing to do with me. Get your ish together. Liana says, clear as mud, honey child. Good. Get your ish together and do better. Let's read some of your comments this morning. Good morning, Mr. Alton. He says, true, I have been there. I will call you, Sandy. Yes. Liana, we'll talk about Pirates Week. We didn't quite get too deep into it yesterday because that gentleman, Mr. John, had called. Siobhan says, I don't accept wrongdoing from anyone, regardless if it's mine or someone else. Rough C says, sometimes people need to take the crooked path to reach the top quick. Well, that's the problem. And you know, the funny thing is, Rough C, is you'll never reach the top quick. You will have the most epic fall. Look at the Canova Watsons of the world. Look at the, what his name is again? Jeff Webbs of the world. You reach the top and then you fall because you were just not doing things the right way. You were just not being honest about it. Good morning to Sandra from Windsor Park. Says, yes, ma'am, we're all human and need to be treated as such. Diamond Princess says, some people prioritize high style life, but they won't pay their bills. And I mean, that's the other thing. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to have no high style life. Don't let nobody pressure you into nothing. If you can only afford a second hand car, but you know how you got it honestly, be about your business and be about doing it in an honest manner. But you see, too many of us trying to keep up with the Joneses. And you don't know how the Joneses got their money, whether they crooked it, whether they work hard, whatever. This is what my Aunt Lotta used to say, and this was a good bit of advice. She said, don't look at what other people are doing because you don't know how they got it. You don't know how they got there. You focus on you. And you know what? She believed that cleanliness was next to godliness. She said, even if you have to wear the same outfit every single day, you just make sure clean, honey child. You get up in the mornings. From the night before, you wash that panty and brassiere out. You make sure that is clean. That's the only pair you got. And you put it on. You make sure your clothes clean and you're presentable. And that's that. It don't have to be no name brand, high fashion, this, that, and the next thing. Who are you trying to impress? When was the last time you could sleep with a handbag? And get cozy? I'm just saying. If you want to have a nice handbag, thousands of dollars, and you can afford it, and you're not stealing from nobody to be able to get it, then, you know, that's your business. Like, I'm not really judging that. I'm not judging people who are into the luxury lifestyle. You want to drive around a Mercedes? God knows I love me a nice Mercedes. Go on, honey child. Walk on through. Just make sure that you're paying your bills and you paying, your staff if you have a company. Don't live your luxurious lifestyle first and then other people suffering because of it. Miss Linda, good morning. Miss Linda, joining us again from the beautiful island of Bermuda, says, Miss Sandy, I love you. You are fair to everyone right across the board. Thank you. Well, I really, really try to be because, like I said, there are too many, grievances around this place for we want to give this impression that we're such a great country and a good place to stay. We are only as great as the least amongst us. And if those people are being abused, we not that great, none at all. So let us fix those things. Trust me, in my heart of hearts, there is no place in the world like Cayman. When I travel after the first week, I'm like, oh God, I gotta hurry up and get back home. I love my country. As someone who grew up overseas and spent 15 years of my formative years in somebody else's land, I can tell you, the days I used to crave for a little guinea and a little plum and some mango and sauce. Oh my God. There's so many little unique things about being a Caymanian and having grown up in this country that I loved and I missed to my core. And that is why I think we all need to fight more to protect what we have. But protecting what we have also means that we carry the burden of doing right by our own country, being right by the name and the flag and all the symbols and the things that we represent. Doing right by our forefathers who mostly were honest people. Now, some of them wasn't honest either, but I'm just saying, we were law-abiding citizens. Miss Sue says, brand new cars, loans, no food in the house. Going around bragging about, you got 5, 6 cars, but, don't even have a house that's clear from the bank, and you got to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on one car? You see? This is Caymanians getting all mixed up in this world of flashiness and what looks good. Let's be a bit more about being people of substance. That's like keep my list of people that I really associate with very, very short because I ain't got no time for it. I'm not here I don't even want to hear your stories. I'm not here to compete with anybody. I'm just in my own little lane, trying to do my own little thing. 90% of my time is spent just working and trying to be with my family, and that's it. Now, I want to talk about something else as it relates to Caymanians and expats, right? And I'm going to bring this into the conversation here. I think some people say they're going to be calling in, but in the meantime, this was circulating yesterday. So this was something coming out of cabinet. Now, first of all, let me tell you something that is very interesting about this PAC government. The premier and his government have decided, unlike the previous government, that all of their cabinet minutes will be published. That's good, because that's what this is, right? So we see a cabinet publishing of a document. This keeps you in the know. They publish it every single week. We get the publications. Sometimes they're interesting. Sometimes they're not interesting, but at least you know what your government is up to. You get these cabinet summary notes. So someone saw this page from October the 25th. Wednesday, October the 25th is when it was published. And they copied this. This was from the meeting from the 17th, the previous week. And then they highlighted 3 things here. The first one says, cabinet, Siobhan's asking how you find it. It's all online. They publish it for you to have it online. So you go online, you can find it. So it's on some government website. I'll get you the link. They emails it to media as well. Confirmed approval granted by circulation on the 10th of October, 2023 for the issuance of a conditional exemption from gainful occupation requirements for non-Caymanian pursuant to Section 53(1)(b) of the Immigration Transaction Act. So somebody sees this. And then there's another one. So there's 2 people here that the other one was approved in accordance with the Legal Practitioner Student Regulations 2018 revision, the application for non-Caymanian to be permitted to register for articles of clerkship. So people see this, and they were circulating it yesterday. So this one came across, said WTF. Well, they said WTAF. I don't know what the A stands for, but anyway. WTF is this. What is our cabinet approving here? I got to break it down, honey chat. I know Ms. Andrews like, I don't know what the hell any of that means. Then somebody else circle it. Sandra needs to touch on this. Caymanian lawyers can't even get articled. Of course I'm going to touch on it because I saw it going around from early in the afternoon. Here's the thing. Let me be very, very clear here, folks. You have got to know the circumstances, and there are people who get exempted all the time. This isn't the first time that cabinet has done this. People get exempted all the time from the requirements of having to either get a work permit, or in the case of people getting articles, exempted from, because only Caymanians by law are supposed to be in a position to get articles. There are exemptions. And so it is easy, folks, to jump up and say, what is this cabinet giving foreigners, exempting them from having a work permit and exempting and allowing them to get articles in our country when Caymanians can't get articles? Listen to me, folks. It is very, very important that you get the details before you start circulating stuff like this and want to lynch every single member of cabinet. Let us make sure that we have the correct information. Okay? So here is what my fact finding has divulged. One person is a young person whose mother is a Caymanian and stepfather is a Caymanian. And there's a lot of different circumstances why someone, immigration circumstances, why someone may not have Cayman papers, and an exemption should be granted in order for them to be able to be gainfully employed. In the situation of the article clerk, that person is married to a Caymanian. So what are you trying to say? If Marlon is married to me and he wanted to become a lawyer, and the law says only Caymanians could become a lawyer, but he's not yet a Caymanian, that he should not be able to get articles? He's supporting a Caymanian wife and child. I mean, I would be really upset if cabinet turned him down. Okay? There are exemptions and there are circumstances that warrant someone being exempted. If they have close Caymanian connections and it's a situation where they just don't have their papers yet, mind you, now he a Caymanian, now he done been sworn in, he got his passport and everything, he good to go. But if this was 3 years ago when he didn't have any of those things, what are you going to do? Tell him that he can't become a lawyer in Cayman, or he have to sit down and wait another 4 or 5 years until he's a senior and gets his Cayman status? Sometimes we have to be fair. Someone showed me where one day they called me, Sandy, you need to get down here. You got to see all these expats being sworn in and this and that. And it's like 700 of them. I was like, what the hell? I called and messaged the deputy governor. He said, wow, 700. He said, Sandy, it's not even 100 people in there. I forget what day they do the swearing-ins. I can't remember now when Marlon went and did his. But that room, maybe 25, 30 people at most. And the vast majority are married to Caymanians. So, I mean, I agree with France. He said, what do you want us to do? Tell people married to Caymanians that they cannot have the right of obtaining residency in this country, of getting Cayman status? That's ridiculous. And you know what is so funny about all of this? Some of the loudest mouths, and if y'all know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't know, then you don't know. Some of the loudest mouths about this, oh, you know, these expats and this and that, they're the ones who are in a friggin' marriage of convenience, so they need to hush their damn mouth before I call them out. They don't want that on the streets. They're the same people out in the streets having people pay for their own work permits. Immigration needs to try and investigate them. But oh boy, they got a big mouth about how these foreign people getting the Caymanians can't get articles and this and that. Really? Are you really all that worried about what Caymanians can get from what they can't get? See, I don't even gonna say who it is. Somebody already know who I'm talking about because she's a damn crook. Like I said, some of her people ain't got no standards. They just got a big mouth. Yes, people know your business. They know how you've been hoodwinking people. They know how you're telling people to bring you $700 and $750 and you expedite stuff to the immigration board. You think people don't know? Like I said, sometimes y'all better off keeping your damn mouth shut. Because when I start talking, then all of a sudden, oh, Sandy going after her Caymanians again. Look at that. Oh my gosh. What a hot mess. That's because I know for a fact that too many of my Caymanians doing too much foolishness. And then they're the same ones who want to sit down talking about they got to hold politicians accountable. The same politicians who putting some of y'all on boards where you should not be because you're not an honest person. It got someone be talked. It got someone be talked all over the place. Lord Jesus. Y'all better make me stop calling. Somebody better call in 936-2626. Because if I keep calling, I keep talking, all the secrets can be out yet today. Jackie says, too bad we couldn't sign a CMR petition on some of these issues we discuss here and just send it to government. 650 people say stop excessive Christmas party spending. 700 people say investigate child abuse incidents or labor issues, etc. Well, you know, Jackie, I'll be honest with you. They're listening, honey child. Don't be fooled. They're listening. Somebody asked me about Tiffany. You're the second person this morning that's asked me about Tiffany. So I guess let me give the people what they want. Give me a couple seconds. Listen, I'm going to say it again. As a matter of fact, today Wednesday, right? Hold on. 1 second, you know. Hold on, y'all. Just hold your horses. Hold your horses. We're going to make a phone call yet today. Let's see. Let me see now. Let me unlock this phone, honey child. Give me 1 second. Let's see what we can do, you know. Since y'all talking about that Christmas party. Let me see. Somebody also said that the Premier's office posts cabinet minute notes on social media as well.
This number does not subscribe to a voice mailbox service. Please try your call.
All right, I was trying to contact the minister about this $56,000 bill for the Christmas party at the Port Authority. Minister, you're probably listening to the show because there's no cabinet today. I really need to ask you, please, sir, if you do nothing else during your tenure, you have got to fix this situation at the port. Because now I'm understanding that the port is actually in deficit by $1.2 million already. It didn't take long to get there. 1.3 million. Go and look at the Public Accounts Annual Report from 2022, where Paul Hurlston, director of the port, on page 7, says that our operating loss of $1.3 million is indicative that structural alignment of our fees is increasingly necessary. No, y'all need to stop spending $56,000 you don't have on a freaking Christmas party. Rein in your spending. Now, I'm not saying not to increase your fees because they might not have done that in a while, but rein in your spending, sir. However, He masked that by saying that they closed the 2022 financial year favorably using their adjustment of the defined benefits liability and the increase in their property to try to say that a sizable surplus profit. In truth, adjusting those figures may have increased their net worth, but it did nothing to prevent them from making a loss in 2022 because they spent $1.3 million more than they earned in revenue. You can imagine? That's a loss, no matter how you slice it. If you're spending more than you got, that's the very definition of a deficit and a loss. The realignment is his way of saying that they have to raise fees to pay their expenses. If they tried to get a loan right now, no bank would lend them any money as their expenses are exceeding their revenue. And they want to hire 40 more staff members. That night shift pattern they had Dale do is grossly expensive and highly inefficient to operate, and they know it. But they accepted it for political mileage, even though it wasn't in the port's best interests. 2023 will probably be worse. $1.3 million deficit at the port. Oh, honey child. We got all the expenses here, cargo handling, what they actually made, what they budgeted, all kind of stuff, honey child. But if they budgeted and spent $56,000 in a Christmas party, I think we've got some serious problems. You know what else is going on at the port? Donovan, and I know Donovan must think that I don't like him, but Donovan, I don't even know who you are. I could pass you on the street and I wouldn't have any clue who you are. Right? But what I know is you have managed to come in this country, and because of your relationship with the board, and particularly with Miss Jackie Rankin, you have really finagled a situation that is to your benefit. I've never seen anything like it. My sources on the ground tell me, does he have status yet? I guess by now we've given it to him, but he's going to become the next port director, according to the board. They are preparing him for that position. Not a Caymanian, Like I said, I don't know if we've given it to him yet, but he is being someone who went from being an accountant, right? Hired some African girl into the accountant position, which he was trying to do before, but other people were preventing him from doing it. Y'all want to talk about Caymanians can't get opportunities? Your own people doing this to you. Your own people sitting on boards and allowing foreign nationals to come here and run amok within organizations such as the Port Authority. So he got his eyes on director of the port, a non-Caymanian. And basically the board, my understanding, has given their blessing and allowing him to cross-train in all sorts of different departments to prepare him. So when the job opens up, because Paul said he's not staying too long, and you better believe that. Then he can say, well, look, I was deputy director of finance. I got experience in this area, that area, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know who's head of safety at the port. Mind you now, they've had accidents under this person's watch, is what I understand. But that person has been promised and told that they will be the next deputy. And they're already out there talking about who is going to take over their position as head of safety. That's not how open recruitment in government is supposed to work. What kind of bamboozling and behind the scenes deals am I hearing going on with employment at the port? If it's open recruitment, these positions by law, according to the public authorities law, should be fully advertised and people can apply. But you see, they're not following the law. They're skirting all over it. Donovan is in a position now that was never openly advertised. No open recruitment. How did he get to be deputy director of finance when the position was not advertised? They're not following the government payment scale. They're not doing anything but the wrong things over at that port. Now, Minister, like I said, I know you're listening. You got kind of shy these days. But ultimately, we, the people, are going to hold you accountable. Somebody said, but Sandy, the port director is a lawyer. I don't care. That don't mean that lawyers do the right thing when they're supposed to do the right thing. We can see the very ones treated to be a lawyer doing the wrong thing. So what do you think? I don't care who the port director is. What I'm telling you is they're over there making some really bad decisions in the past, and they continue to make really bad decisions. Head should roll for a $56,000 party. That's $300 and something per head. When the law says it's supposed to be what, $41? Your staff would have, trust me, preferred to have that by way of a check. Somebody says, Kenneth is on Radio Cayman, scared of the tough questions. Oh, that's where he is today? Might tweet him. Let me see. Let me go and look at him real quick on social media. Oh, poor him. What a thing. Oh, he trying to fool the people over there? Well, that's only 4 people he fooling, honey child, so that's not gonna help. Let me see who they got watching this morning. Radio Cayman. But I don't even see that they're live. Are they live? I don't see them live. Where are they? Okay. Radio Cayman. Do they not have a live feed? For the record. Oh, it ended. Did it end already? No. 4 weeks ago. Oh, they're not live streaming anymore? They haven't live streamed anything in a month. Oh. Okay. Well, nobody wasn't watching it, but I'm just saying. Are they on, let me see. Are they on YouTube? Oh, they're on YouTube. They're not on Facebook. So they have a few people watching. I think this is now, right? No. Oh, yeah, that's today. All right, here's a few people watching. See the minister over there. Is he talking about the Christmas party and the $56,000? Is he talking about the Port Authority not following the public authorities law? What's he saying over there? Somebody said, good morning, poor Kenneth. He needs to go where his ego gets stroked. Looks like he calling. No, he's in the studio. Taking heat about district days being canceled. Oh, that's what he's doing over there. Poor him. All right. Yeah, they don't have it. I don't know what happened to their Facebook feed. Okay, let's talk about. Yeah, I saw it. Thank you, Miss KB. I saw that it's actually on YouTube. Let's talk about. A few people have asked for the update on Tiffany. So y'all know I wasted my time on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Monday. Ran out of here like a damn fool. Ended my show early to try to get to court to bring y'all this sentencing. It never happened. Here's what happened. Apparently, Tiffany's lawyers at the last session had claimed that they were going to get a neurological report. Because remember, said a girl claimed that she has a brain tumor. So they claimed that they were going to get a neurological report. All kind of stuff to keep delaying the process. So they showed up yesterday. It was delayed from last month. I think it was the 11th or something of last month because I was in Greece when it was all going down. It was delayed because she claims that she wanted an opportunity to get this neurological report. They show up again in court. No neurological report. And now they've informed the court, in fact, that they are abandoning it. You know why they're abandoning it? Because nobody was going to testify on Tiffany's behalf and give any neurological report that would have been of anything worthwhile. There's nothing wrong with Tiffany's brain neurologically. And the judge basically said, we're not wasting any more time and any further reports. And in fact, I was shocked to find out. And she said it right in open court that she contacted the hospital herself as the magistrate in this matter and obtained additional reports to help her with this matter. She's like, I'm ready to make a ruling. I was like, snaps. The magistrate contacted the authorities. The hospital. So she got the report directly because she's sick and tired of the back and forth. Well, I must admit, I can't blame her. So yeah, she has requested reports, and to be quite honest, I don't think that they are furthering Tiffany's position, none at all. So she's postponed it now. She set a new date to the 14th of the month. And she has said, because they're like, oh, but, we'll make arguments that day, but do you need time to consider? She said, no, this is not going to go into next year. I am ready to proceed. How much time you need? She's supposed to have a trial. The magistrate said she had a trial that day. She's even willing to push the trial back to get this done and over with. Basically, you get the sense that this magistrate has had enough. This isn't a particularly complicated case, It's pretty straightforward. All these reports, and they're not saying that the gal got any problems. It's like, really? What more do you want? Like I said, postponement after postponement after postponement. Anyway, the 14th appears to be the final day now of reckoning. So we will certainly keep you guys updated. And I'll let you guys know what happens. That's it. What a mess. It's just ridiculous. A neurological report. The court said, well, you have to pay for it. They gave him time last time, and then they shut down. Oh, well, we're not going to get it again because you're not going to find no neurologist that's going to be lying on your behalf. That's why. Simple as that. Let's keep it moving, folks. I'll update you all on the 14th in terms of what will happen, what's the outcome of her sentencing. Leroy says she'll have a new home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the New Year. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Yep. Alec says dragging it out. I've never seen such a simple case be dragged out like this in my life. You thought this was a capital murder case. But the judge seems keen on the 14th, wrapping it up on the 14th. So hopefully, because that means I'm going to have to take off part of that show to get in court in time. What a mess. 936-2626 is the telephone number. All right. Okay, let me see now, honey child. Any updates in the case with the EMS driver from HSA for assault of a minor? Which one? This was Salvin or whatever his name was, the sexual assault? Or which one was this? He was convicted. Has he been sentenced as yet? I'll have to double check about sentencing, but for sure he was convicted. All right. District days. Let's talk about this. I don't know whose idea it was to cancel these district days, but somebody needs to have their head checked. I'm assuming that the ministry responsible for this had a role to play in this. What I do know is that nothing was brought to cabinet about it. And so, this was a decision that was made by whom? I can't understand it. As I said yesterday, for me, the most enjoyable thing about Pirates Week is actually the district days. Who don't love to drive to East End? and get some proper East End home cooking. West Bay and West Bay District Day, that gives you a reason to go into West Bay and just, enjoy yourself. So what is this all about? I don't have a clue. I don't know why they did it. Nobody's providing an explanation. I, for one, think it's a really poor decision. And why do you make a decision like this and not talk to the people about it? So somebody said, I can assure you it was not cabinet. It was a decision made within the ministry. But they also heard that the district committees are struggling to get district volunteers and that some of them agreed with the idea. Even Juliana O'Connor Connolly got in the conversation. So she apparently commented because someone thought it fell under her. And honey child, you know her. She's not going to take no responsibility for what falls under her, much less what doesn't. And I can't blame her in this case. She was like, oh, no, you don't. We're not responsible for that. So here's what she said. Let me show you all the screenshot, She shared that she didn't even know anything about it. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
No, I don't want to be on a program. I'm looking information.
You're looking information
on how to deal with the situation.
Well,
and be on a program.
Yeah, well, we live in the radio now, so if you call the talk show number, that comes straight through. You see?
Well, can I get a different number for you or something?
Yeah, but you can't call me now till after the show is over in any event.
Yeah, well, I will need your number though.
324
324
1612.
1612.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right.
What's a good time to call you? What's a good time to call?
After the show.
Like what? Around 1, 2, 3 o'clock?
Well, I mean, the show's over at 10:30, so if you want to call 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you can call anytime.
11? Okay,
that's fine.
Cool.
All right, dear.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. So she replied, Ms. Juliana Connolly replied, says, Education Ministry is not, in capital letters, responsible for Pirates Week and played no, again in caps, part in this said decision. Yes, sir. I was not aware that the Heritage Days are being canceled until I read it here, but I can say that, in my opinion, the best part of Pirates Week was the Heritage and Cultural Day activities in each of the districts. Certainly, if Minister Bernie Bush brought a paper to cabinet regarding funds, let's go to the next one, to cabinet requesting funds for the Heritage and Cultural Days in the various districts, I would support it. So it was never taken to cabinet. We don't understand why the decision was made. If it was volunteers, that the committees are tired and worn out, they could have been a public service announcement that could have gone out that said, we need volunteers. That never happened. Y'all not easy, boy. No, sir. I don't know what to say. Just that this is absolutely ridiculous. Bring back our district days. Simple, simple. Okay. What else can I say about it? There's not much to say except bring it back. Stop the foolishness. Such a shame. So they say that it kicks off on Friday. Is that this Friday? Or was that Friday gone? Because I don't even know. Nobody really keeping up with it anymore because it's been so watered down already. No district heritage days. So what is Pirates Week without the district heritage days? So they claim that it was dropped because of time and budget constraints. What kind of foolishness is this? Time. Culture Minister Bernie Bush, who's a former director of the festival, thanked the Pirates Week committee and his staff at the ministry. Thanking them for what? Not holding district days? Minister, with all due respect, this is an event that you have every single year for the past 40 years. You should have a playbook. We start preparing for district days 3 months in advance, 5 months in advance, something. This should be like the most well-greased event in all of the entire world. You've been doing it for 40 years. You've had more than enough opportunity to make sure everything was ready. Allocate the budget from long time. There's not a last minute thing now where you're looking for money in a budget 2 days before Pirates Week begins. We need an explanation on this. I don't understand it. Right? I don't know. I don't know what to say. Anybody missing any dogs this morning? There's 3 dogs, small breeds. Sorry. They look kind of, one is brown in color. One is white and black spots on them. The other one is brown and white. Northward Road. If you're missing 3 small dogs, folks, in Northward Road, please call me, because somebody has found your dogs. Okay, honey child, they gone out at a frolic this morning, and they have been found. So give me a call. Somebody says that there's a story behind the district days. Apparently, the ministry that's in charge of Heritage does not feel that Pirates Week is part of our heritage. Therefore, that's the reason of my understanding why we're no longer having Heritage Days during our Pirates Week. That is dumb. That is dumb and stupid. We've been doing it for 40 years. And if you think, right, that there's some sort of conflict between Heritage and Pirates Week, and maybe we should separate the two, you take it to the people. You don't just make this decision and send out a press release and saying, oh yeah, this is what's happened. That don't make no sense. That is as dumb a reason as I could possibly think of. And it's more like you should get rid of the pirates and make it a festival of our heritage. You should do it the other way. You don't cancel the Heritage Days. That don't make no sense. People look at excuse. And I can't take stupid excuses. I'm sorry. That's just not adding up. No, sir. What a hot mess. Okay, if you live down in Hudson Road in Northward and you got missing dogs, please message me. Somebody has your dogs. Okay. Yeah, that don't make no sense, Sonny Chow. I don't know what the hell they talking about. This person says, not sure that the, good morning, quick question, please. Why is the Pirates Week not under the tourism portfolio? Why isn't culture with tourism? Not sure the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. But didn't they announce last year that they were working in tandem with each other when they decided to do this Pirates? What they do last year where they extended the time? All of a sudden it was a Pirates Fest instead of Pirates Week, and they what a hot mess. I don't know what to say. It's a hot mess. They need to figure it out. We believe Heritage Days have an important role in our heritage. Well, obviously, they've been part of Pirates Week for umpteenth years, so why cancel it? If anything, cancel the Pirates part, like I said. Pat says, can we stop Pirates Week, instead celebrate Emancipation Day, and truly promote and educate our people and visitors on our culture? Well, if we're going to change a 40-year-old, what by now has become part of our culture and tradition, I don't think you do it overnight, first of all, and I don't think you do it without the input of the people. And there's a lot of people who, would say to you, Emancipation Day has its own celebration, but the reason behind why Pirates Week was started had everything to do about our tourism product. As that other person said, why doesn't it fall in tourism? It had everything to do with our tourism product and trying to promote tourism. And I think for many, many years, it has actually been very effective in that regard and has brought in a lot of visitors from overseas. Andrea says, I bet the district days will be replaced with some Americanized celebration. Same thing the guy was talking about, Cayman is slowly losing its culture. Siobhan says, probably whoever in charge of that in government. Marshall says, make sure it's going down on the 14th. Don't be ending the show early again for nothing. I'm just saying. I know, right? Sure. Yeah, I think the judge was she's like, I don't need no more time on this. Good morning to Miss Lucille. How are you? Rough Sea says, if you're sick in the head, there's a different machine that scans for those neurons. Well, you don't get to make up the fact that you have a brain tumor and claim that explains your erratic behavior. And there's been no evidence to support that. That's the thing that, Tiffany has not been able to produce, is any evidence to support any of that foolishness. So I don't know. Damien says, for many, it's a social gathering for the seniors to see other Caymanians they haven't seen in a while. The district days. No, listen, I, for one, enjoy the district days. Because again, I might not go into West Bay all that often. So it gives me an excuse to go to and you see people, Caymanians come out for the nights that they have their little event. You see people, faces you haven't seen in a minute. Leroy says that they need to scrap Pirates Week and keep our heritage days. You Little Brat says Pirates Week and their committee both needs to go. Create a whole new event to represent our heritage, because I don't know about anybody else, but my heritage isn't about theft, rape, murder, or anything else that pirates represent. There's so much more to our culture that could be celebrated. That name alone sucks. Well, it's been 40 years in the making, honey child. And what I would say to you is there's been so much marketing and money and everything that has gone around the event. And there are people who look forward to it, including the so-called visitors that we're trying to get here, who look forward to it every single year. So if you change it, you have to know what comes with it. But I think that it's something that should not be changed by one or two people in ministry who then don't even have the common decency to give us an explanation as to why it has been changed. Siobhan says, definitely our heritage days are more important. Rough Sea says, I'm a firm believer in Pirates Week. Pirates is a huge part of the Cayman culture. Hello, Alejandro. Gabby says, right? By now they should be able to do this blindfolded and with one hand. Just ridiculous. Yeah. Gabby, another Gabby, says they don't care about Cayman culture no more because we don't have Heritage Day like that also. Ms. Pat says, what's the purpose of all of this talk about promoting Caymanian heritage and culture? Aliano says successive planning is this country's Achilles heel. How hard is it to do festivities? What a mess. Liana says, poor excuses, just another way to cancel Cayman culture. Better yet, the country just lost money because our tourists bought tickets to see our events and culture. Damien says, because we have turtle on the menu, because the entitlement goes beyond Caymanians. Good morning, Reddy. Nice to see you. Sending love from Emer. Hello. Hey, you. Where you at? Where you been hiding out? It's all good. Garrett says the original Caymanians were descendants of retired or maroon privateers and pirates. Leroy says, I thought that they made money off of renting the stalls for vendors. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much, but yeah. Siobhan says, well, you see, the math, not mathing, laughing out loud. The whole thing makes no sense and no explanation. Hot mess. Yes, sir. Aliano says, what are we waiting for? A private corporation to come and take that over or what? Yep, here comes Uncle Doc to the rescue. Lord have mercy. At least if they did it, they're going to do it right. But I'm just saying. Live says, Gareth, don't take no rubbish. I think you meant don't talk no rubbish. El Ray, good morning. I don't think they have people from the districts to make it happen. Some passed on, and those who are still around are probably not capable due to old age. I don't think that's a viable excuse, but El Ray, if they needed people, could they not have put out a call to say, listen, you know, we're struggling with the volunteers needed to put on these district events? Sure. Alejandro says I should come west more often. I hear you there. Yes, sir. What a heat. Oh, boy. Live says Caymanians were never pirates of a particular kind. Who should be celebrating this is Jamaica. They have Port Royal, the city of pirates. Well, they stopped by here too. They just didn't want to stay in Cayman because the living conditions in Cayman were not really ideal for the pirates. In Jamaica, they had a lot of ports and things and places that they could hide their gold and hide out. And, you know, here, not so much so. But they passed through. Good morning, Mystic Floral. All right, folks. Let me see what else go on. Let me see here now. I wonder. All right, all planning, this person says, all planning for Pirates Week is led by Ventisha Connolly. Oh. So are we saying that we're blaming one civil servant for this? Ventisha Connolly for canceling this? I don't think that would have been her decision alone, if her decision at all. I mean, I don't know. This person says that vendors pay $200 for the stalls, but last year it was free. Districts need new and younger people to help with planning. Many district days are planned by persons in their 60s and 70s. Well, put out the call. Let people know. I didn't know they needed anybody. Maybe I would have found some time. All right, Cayman was only used as a stopover by active ones. Yes. All right, folks, let's move on. Let's cover a little bit of regional news. And then I do want to talk about this dog abuse case, which really had me upset. And I know a lot of other people in the community were shocked at this as well. All right, let's take a quick little commercial break, shall we?
Need a nibble to make it to dinner time? Introducing Sneaky Snackies at Burger King. Every item under $3, including the all-new Chicken Junior. Grab a bite from BK without breaking the wallet. And late-night snackers can get yours at 7 Mile Beach or Red Bay, open till midnight Thursdays and 1 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
But I must sneak
A sneaky snacker. What the heck am I doing here? It's not even lunchtime.
Sneaky Snackies at Burger King. All items under $3. View the menu at burgerking.ky. Friends, Caymanians, Whopper fans,
I'm
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
Are you tired of overpaying for TV services? Can't figure out VPNs? Constantly missing your favorite TV shows? And no access to the good stuff on streaming services? The frustration is real, but it doesn't have to be. Contact Roke, Cayman Streaming Pros. We'll put you back in the driver's seat in front of your TV. Call, WhatsApp, or message Roke today on 926-1213. Roke is not a TV service provider. Terms and conditions apply.
In the mornings, no one wants to miss listening to the Cold Hard Truth or reading CMR. Cayman's #1 news platform has made your morning commute fun again. Pass this time with the Cold Hard Truth on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Talk radio that's engaging, entertaining, and enlightening. But be careful. Some mornings it's so hot, you might run into a bit of trouble.
Hey Cayman, los saluda DJ Yoyo, The Energy, y estás escuchando The Cold Hard Truth con la voz del pueblo, Sandra Hill, todas las mañanas, 7:30 AM, only on Bobo, 89.1 FM.
Oh, my apologies. Oh gosh, all this time I'm talking, y'all can't hear me. My apologies. Yes, I was just reading some comments. So Miss Brenda says Jamaicans have the good common sense to know what their heritage is, and they celebrate it. Certainly not piracy. Liana says, but all local schools are celebrating Heritage Day. It's the educator Caymanian children, where they come from, foods, merchandise, clothing, etc. They should have a Heritage Day every month, if you ask me, in schools. Live says we should do a poll to change the name. Okay. What a mess. All right, honey, chill. 936-2626 is el número de teléfono. Llámame. Let me see. Another message says, oh, is this what's in the plans? All right, so each district is responsible for planning their own day. Government gives them money. The days have been moved to align with the reinstatement of Emancipation Day. When did this happen and when was it announced? We didn't even know that we were going to start celebrating Emancipation Day. We know that the premier did say 2 years ago, I think, or at least a year ago, that it was brought up, and he said that he thought it was not a bad idea at all. Somebody just told me what WTAF stands for. Oh, okay, I got it. Learn something new every day, honey. Chill. So a few people have said that the minister's on the radio. Yes, my love, me know. Now me know. This person says, blessed good morning, lovely, special sand, and enough kabooms. Amen. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. What a hot mess. All right. Let me check the next phone line over here, honey child. Y'all know we have more than one. Let me see here now. Okay. I do want to call. Can I call him on this number? Hold on, Hannah. Let me see. I don't know if I call. Oh, I don't think I can do calls in this app. So they've already started the memes with the guy there who was with the machete and the robber. They started the memes and say, what you gotta do with that? What you gonna do with that? Y'all saw the little memes with the t-shirts? Yes, sir. Change the name to Cayman Heritage Month, says Leanna. Have a look at these t-shirts now. This is a Curtis meme. So look at that. What are you gonna do with that? Order now. That's so funny. My goodness. Jim says some things need to be left alone, as in Pirates Week and Heritage Days within each district. Stop trying to fix something that's not broken. Yes, sir. Like I said, they've been going on for 40 years now. Can we talk about pirates to educate and display what has taken place long ago? We can, says Leanna. Sorry. Miss Aline, good morning. Says I've always been curious and not to offend anyone, but growing up, we've read and taught that pirates are bad people. So why is it a part of Cayman celebrated culture? And at the same time, the pledge is from the No of Psalm. It doesn't add up. Well, the book. Oh, that's supposed to say the Book of Psalm. Well, Miss Aline, if you were listening to the first part of the program, this is what I'm telling you. We can be very duplicitous people. We can tell you that we stand for all the right and good things, but then our actions say something different. Or when we when it doesn't suit us to do the right thing, then we that's how it is, honey Jam. Okay. So it is what it is. All right. Did y'all see the situation in Panama? Now, I didn't know that there were things kind of crack-a-lacking in Panama. I honestly had no clue. Oh, let me get the videos ready. Hold on. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about it. But apparently there's quite a bit that's going on in Panama. There's some protesting that's happening over some government decision with something. And then they killed a politician yesterday. They killed some old man. Oh my gosh. It's like next level crazy. So let me sure somebody sent me some updates yesterday. They're like, Sandy, you don't know what's going on in Panama? And I'm like, no. Haven't even had time to follow that. But here we go. Hold on. Let me show y'all now. Apparently, this is what's happening. Look at this. 1 second here. Panama. Okay. And I guess this is their... Do they have a military in Panama? I guess. This is their military and stuff here. Trying to deal with protesters and tear gassing them. That's happening right in the main strip there. Such a lovely little highway. This is a politician that they gunned down and killed. And the thing about it, look at this politician. He has in his hand, he's walking with what looks to me, correct me if I'm wrong here, he's walking with what is a bulletproof vest. Look at that. In his hand. That's a bulletproof vest, right? Looks so. He's putting it in the van. He's about to get in. Then he sees this car drive by, and you see him kind of looking. And then at this point, he realizes he's in trouble. And they So sad. Killed a man just like that. And this is is some other guy who got killed and gunned down in the streets, looks like.
Se lo echó, Fren, se lo echó. ¿Quién era ese?
Wow. Such a sad situation. And then he just shot somebody again. Y'all saw that? Y'all saw the old man right there? He just, he looked like they were talking to him. And then he just aimed at somebody and shot him? Oh my God. What lawlessness. Lord have mercy. And all of that was just like caught people there recording it. Whoa. Wow, be careful. Miss Romelia, you in Panama, honey child, you be careful around the place. Because all this is happening in broad daylight. Aliana says that's mild compared to what they do in Mexico. Ooh, honey child. Or America. Because you know them Americans and their craziness. Somebody says, is this the same place that Cayman Airways is traveling to? Yes. But listen, Cayman Airways travels to Miami, and every day people getting killed in Miami, so don't get it twisted. And we travel to Jamaica too, and people getting killed there every day, so that ain't got nothing to do with the national airline, honey child. They're going to just drop you off and wish you good luck. Say be safe, and hopefully see you on the return flight. Siobhan says, wow, WTF. Yes, the dispute is over some copper mine contract. That's the protest in the first part. Kyle says, Cayman Airways still fly there. They just started back. Now, this I can endorse and agree with. Leroy says, the world gone mad. It sure has. We should request visas from all Central American people that come to Cayman. Well, don't we? Most countries, you need a visa to come here, you know, especially if you're from South America, Central America, because these countries are dangerous, no matter how safe, I want to claim they are. There's an element of danger. Yep, Colombia and Honduras will cause war if a running politician or existing member does not say the right thing that the people want to hear. Yeah, they're very, very different. Listen, I'm just a bystander, honey child. I'm just here to look at the videos and be shocked like everybody else, but I don't understand their politics. I don't care to understand. I'm not getting into it. It is, and all I know is in some countries, your life is worth nothing, literally. And it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the leader of the country or whatever. It is what it is. This person says you're hilarious. Be safe. I mean, what else is Cayman Airways going to do? Oh, no visas required for Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, or Mexico? Really? Mexico? Huh. That's interesting. We might want to look into that one. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah. I was just watching those scenes in Panama, and I went to Panama about 8 years ago. Panama is such a wonderful and lovely place. Good food, So it only goes to show you how things can change. You see?
Yes. Everywhere.
For somebody to mention Cayman Airways going to Panama, come on, give me a break. It has nothing to do.
Yeah.
Cayman Airways. Why people don't, if they don't know what to call in and talk, why don't they keep their mouth shut? The minister is not my favorite minister. He's not my favorite minister. But I was still like to see him a success. And he has done something for me that I'm very very happy about.
You finally got through?
Not that.
Not that. Oh, okay.
You see that now?
We were gonna do some celebrating then. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Not that. He also initiated the flight to Barbados, and I am going down for Christmas. You see? So he's not really my favorite minister, but these things happen. And listen to me, but Cayman is not far away from these things happening. They just happened. He just had a young boy shot with his baby in his arm.
Yeah,
come on.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
we're not far off. So for somebody to call in and talking about and Cayman Airways, like, you know, in a derogatory manner, and Cayman Airways going here. Listen, Panama is a lovely place, my friend. Lovely. I would go back there. And that's all I have to say, my friend. But that thing, I don't know. I think I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up on it. I guess I talk too much, and you don't want me. You don't want me in the system. But I shall continue to chat until the day I die. You understand?
Yeah.
I shall continue. You told us. I believe you're my half sister because what we normally do, we call a spade a spade. You see, and nobody's going to tell me that the dog is a cat. You cannot tell me that. You see. So
not if it barks and it looks like a dog and acts like a dog. It can't be a cat.
It has to be a dog.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't even bother with that. No. Yeah, so that's my little take this morning.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Welcome, my friend.
All right, my dear. 936-2626. We got about half an hour left in the program. I'm drinking my water, honey chill. Look at me filling up my second little go of water. Yes. So what I realized when I'm measuring it out of this, I need to drink 4 of these for the day at least to get my minimum allowance of water by 7 o'clock. But child, I had some coconut water in the fridge yesterday. Miss Stacy must have made them people cut it down when they came to do the lawn. Ooh, nothing like some fresh coconut water, but that makes me run to the bathroom. So I can't really drink it during the show because I would have already had to take probably like 3 bathroom breaks. It does something different to you. Your bladder than regular water, I must tell you. But anyway, Damien says that the baby was in the front seat of the victim's car. Yes, that is true. So not exactly in his hands, but child, the baby was right there, poor thing. What a sad situation. The world has gone crazy, honey child. The world has gone crazy. That's all I know. Empty barrels make the most noise, says this person. Yes. So, all right. Let me just talk now about this animal abuse case. I was so disappointed, really. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyone who could literally starve to death a dog. I don't quite understand why this poor dog was in such bad and ill treatment and so emaciated. After weeks of treatment, the dog just couldn't survive. The dog ended up dying regardless, or I should say in spite of some of the best medical assistance that are available on island. They tried to do everything to save the poor dog. I mean, its ribs were poking out. You guys saw the photos, I'm sure, of the poor thing. And you know what I find really, really egregious? Poor Wilmer. Was that his name? Wilmer? I think that was his name. Yeah. Wilbur. He fought a good fight, was found at a residence in Prospect last month, died on Sunday after undergoing weeks of treatment to try to save his life. Poor thing. Could not even stand up properly to eat. Listen, you don't have to like dogs. You don't have to love dogs. But if you fall into either category, then you simply do not own a dog. What is the sense of you owning a dog? Rich dogs cost money, make sure you understand, right? You got to take them to vet appointments. You got to feed them. If you can't afford a dog, you don't want a dog. But why have a dog and treat it like this? Look at that poor dog. He couldn't even really stand up. It's ridiculous. The poor thing was, fighting an infection. Looked like one of his eyes had a problem. Fighting an infection to try to, listen, these people wicked. I think the Department of Agriculture which animal welfare falls under. They have policing powers, by the way. They said that they were investigating the circumstances under which this dog came to be in this condition. They need to arrest these people and have them charged. It was the neighbors who came forward and saw the condition of this dog, right? That were like, this poor dog is in deplorable condition. People found him, reported it to DOA. They knew which house the dog came from and who owned the house. Statements were given. I want to do a big shout out to everyone who tried to save this dog's life, all of the volunteers, the vet services on island, the good folks at One Dog at a Time. You know, a lot of people stepped forward trying their best to save this poor dog. It's just unbelievable that, and I understand that they're Filipino nationals, and I found that interesting because, I mean, I thought they probably would have wanted to fatten up the dog for other reasons, not starve him to death. But whoever they are, I mean, I'm going to be watching this case through the court system to see exactly where this goes and what the outcome is. This is a criminal offense to mistreat a dog like this. If you can't feed the dog, you don't have enough money to feed the dog, give the dog up. There are people who are looking to adopt dogs all the time. There are a lot of agencies in this country who would have taken this dog and made sure that he was rehomed in a good home. Yeah. This is deplorable. Poor Wilbur. He saw some improvements, but he just couldn't make it. He just ended up passing away. Wow. So he passed away over the weekend. And it was very, very painful, I think, for a lot of people to see that he was fighting so hard. And in the end, his body just couldn't fight off like all the infections and everything else. They were doing an autopsy on him because this will be a court case now. And so he suffered from extreme starvation, advanced heartworm disease, as well as intestinal parasites. Unbelievable. To imagine the torture that this poor little dog would have had to sustain. Now, the people who were doing this to this poor thing had the audacity to show up over the weekend at the vets trying to take Wilbur back. Because I think they were starting to realize that criminal charges are definitely coming their way. Well, I'm rather shocked and surprised at this. You mistreat a dog. Agencies have to step in. DOE has to step in. All of this has to happen for poor Wilbur to have a chance at trying to fight for his life. And in the end, he just couldn't. Right? At this residence in Prospect. And then you have the audacity to show up talking about you want to take the dog back? No, sir. Somebody should have boxed you right then and there. So unfortunately, over the weekend, the Post said Wilbur passed away this morning, had his walk, laid down, and slipped away. He couldn't fight any longer. We are praying that there's justice for Wilbur in the court system. Unfortunately, it's not an isolated story. May his life have been for some purpose. Rest in peace. Such a sad, sad situation. It's cases like this that really make you recognize the horrific conditions that, animals are having to live in. They were thanking a Miss Jacqueline Ebanks for paying for Wilma's crematorium fees. I think that this story just really touched a lot of people, but as that previous post said, unfortunately, there are a lot of dogs who are in deplorable conditions. A lot of you are refusing to spay and neuter your pets, talking foolishness about, oh, I don't want my dog to lose his left nut. What if you took mine? It's not the same thing. But some of y'all need to lose your left and your right nut, if you ask me, because some of y'all shouldn't be having children either. Let me be very, very frank with you. But dogs don't have a choice, right? They are looking out for us to really look out for them. And so we have a responsibility. It's a moral obligation on our part to ensure that no dog should live a life of unnecessary suffering. Look at this. The Humane Society posted this. Actually, was it the Humane Society? Hold on. No, the Veterinary Clinic and Specialty Boarding posted this. This was his little room. Poor little thing. So they put a little card and a little toy in there. Listen, if you ever, they say Wilbur's kennel is empty this morning. This is all that's left behind. This and the anger, the frustration, and the pain. Let's hope his legacy will live on and that there's a silver lining for other animals on this island. His suffering and death shall not be in vain. Folks, if you have ever had the privilege of having a dog in your life, you know how much joy they bring you on a daily basis, right? Oh my God, they're just so amazing. They love without condition. They will put their own life at risk to save human beings, to save children, to save people, to, they have sniffed out cancer on people that was life-saving. There was a story not too long ago with a woman who, doing her regular checks and whatever, and she said that her dog kept obsessing a little bit about her breasts, and then the dog would walk away, like he didn't want to be around her, and she thought, well, this is strange, like something's going on, and she decided to check, and she found out that she actually had breast cancer. And they have now proven that dogs, there's a odor that cancers emit, and they're actually training dogs to detect breast cancer because they have the ability to detect it before even modern medical equipment. This is just how amazing dogs are, right? You don't have to love a dog, but you should not feel like you can abuse a dog. This is a difference. You don't have to be an animal lover. I love dogs to pieces. I don't want to see dogs suffering. I think everybody should have a dog in their life. They're just the most amazing thing ever. They love and not only do they have the capacity to love unconditionally, but they also teach us as human beings a thing or two about loving unconditionally as well. Whether you're upset, you're having a bad day, whatever, when you walk through that door and that dog, even 5 minutes after walking out the door, that dog is so happy to see you. It just brightens your day. They're only given to us. Somebody said they're angels that are given to us for such a short period of time. But because they give so much, they don't live for very long. It's just the most amazing thing to have. I've had dogs throughout my life. And I tell you what, the loss of a dog, even from natural causes, is one of the most painful things in the world. It's the same thing as loving and losing any other loved one. But, this situation and others like it are just horrific. Anybody who can mistreat a dog, I think that there is something wrong with their core. Yeah. That's a special kind of evil person, in my opinion. If you can mistreat a dog, you'll mistreat a child, you'll mistreat old people, you will mistreat anybody that you think is beneath you and that relies on you for their very, substance and their ability to live and survive. This dog and all dogs in Cayman deserve good homes. The pet population is out of control. Spay and neuter your pets. You know, I have people all the time. You guys know we have Zeus now. He's already fixed at 6 months. As soon as his little nuts came in, honey child, I was like, can we fix him now? They said, wait till 6 months. I said, all right. We take him in, we pay, and we have it done. That's the responsible thing to do. It's irresponsible to have puppies all over the place and they're eating out of garbage and they're getting parasites and you know, heartworm and this and that. You know, that's such a horrible thing to happen to dogs. Don't be an irresponsible pet owner. Dogs are social creatures. They love people. If they're properly trained, they will love other dogs as well. So whoever did this to Wilbur, you know, I think that they should be facing some jail time. If they're here in a work permit, I understand they're Filipino nationals. Don't take it personal. But you should never get another work permit in the Cayman Islands again. Simple as that. For you to show up telling me you wanted to take this dog back, you're lucky it wasn't me at the vet office that day because I would have told you about your backside. Look at this. Look at this.
Little Wilbur. Oh my goodness.
My God.
Hello, Wilbur.
Oh my God.
Bless him.
Look like he can't even lift his poor little leg.
Come on, Wilbur.
Come on, Wilbur.
My God.
Oh, you're a good boy. Oh, you're
This
such a
breaks
good
my
boy.
heart.
Can everybody see your little face?
My Trina.
Oh,
look at him.
Bless him. Poor little thing.
My God.
He is everybody.
Look at this. Look at the ribs, the impressions of his ribs. Poor thing. Couldn't walk. Looked like he could barely even stand up. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Oh my God. So horrific.
It is,
It's horrible.
you know, I thought slavery was abolished, but my dog owns me.
It's horrible. And like I said, you know, anybody who can treat a dog like this, they're given the opportunity, they'd mistreat people too.
Of course. The thing about it is, Sandy, you know, if some people become more like a dog, they become more human.
Yep.
It is really sad, you know. Anyway, I got two little jokes for you. The driver said to an officer, "You can't find me for talking on my cell phone while driving. It's my wife. I was only listening."
Yes.
And then the wife says to her husband, "You can stop yawning when I'm talking to you, husband. I'm not yawning. I'm trying to say something."
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, Sandy.
Thank you, my
keep it
dear.
up.
Thank you
But,
so
you know,
much.
it's really sad, you know, because there's so many people that think that they can own a dog and that's
Yeah.
it. There's a dog down on Street Hill Road. They got him in one little house. The chain is so big that he can hardly move it, and he got about 6 feet. That's what the dog is, and they feed him. I told somebody who was playing with him, and he was so happy. And I said, "You got to take this dog out to the sun. He can stay in the shade in his house." I said, "How would you like to be put out in that dog house for a week in the heat?" It is sad. What is wrong with people? They dog welfare, whatever. It's they need to get their life together because they're not doing their job. Because don't tell me that you're driving around any district, you can't see that dogs are being abused. You know, I don't have no apologies to make to anyone when it comes down to my animals. You know, they teach you how to love.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
You know?
that's unbelievable.
Okay, Sandy.
Thank you, my
care,
darling. Okay.
Okay, bye.
So many questions, really. Wanda says someone had to have known before he was rescued. Who knew? So I think that once the neighbors saw what was going on and recognized, they were the ones really who called the authorities. Live says that, oh, I wish I was there when they showed up. Trust me. Oh, that was Karen. Sorry. And there are no words for the people who did this. Absolutely. Soka says they had him tied up. I shouldn't have tuned in because now I'm so, you know what, angry right now. She dropped the F-bomb in there. And if anybody knows Soka, Marilyn, they know that she loves her animals, cats and dogs. She's always feeding them in Miami. Yeah, this is really unbelievable. Siobhan says sick human beings need to get the max sentence. They need to be dealt with. Well, here's the thing. Unfortunately, in the law, they're going to probably just get a slap on the wrist. So this is one of those areas, the animal law, and I wish our MPs are listening this morning, that they really need to pay a little bit of attention to, because there should be a significant sentence for doing this sort of thing to a dog. And like I said, if you do this to a dog and you're a foreign national, after you serve your sentence, you must leave this country, never to come back again. We should put that blaring letters, dog abuser, on your WORC file. You shouldn't even be able to come here as a visitor, as far as I'm concerned. APOC 447 says dogs are expensive and a lifetime commitment. Do not get one if you aren't willing to make that commitment. And that's absolutely correct. They are a lifetime commitment. And, I've seen things happen that would shock you. When people get a dog, they're like, it's too much work now for me to take care of the dog. I'm like, didn't you think about that beforehand? But you know what? I'd rather you give it away to a good home than for it to stay in the home and be abused or neglected because you don't have the time for a dog. But I'm like, didn't you think about that? Dogs are like kids. Yes, they require time. You got to spend time with them. Child, there's nothing better that I want to do some weekends and just curl up on the sofa, just me and Zeus, and take a nap. He's the best napping buddy. I was like, Zeus, you lie right there and I lie right here and we can just snooze. Yesterday, I took him for a little car ride. Oh, he's so good in the car now. He just lies down in the back and behaves himself. So that he could get out a little bit. Dogs like to get out. They like to socialize. They like to be around other dogs. He has a little neighborhood friend, Zoomer. Every time he gets out, you can see him kind of peeping around the corner, looking to see where Zoomer is. Unfortunately, we still have those of a dogs next door that killed my last dog. That sometimes I have some real anxiety when I walk by and I hear them barking. Like literally my heart jumps. Just look and see, oh my God, are they going to get out again? Are they're barking close to the fence? What if they lean up and push the fence? The door opens. Oh my God, I've replayed it so many times in my head. Could I have done more? Should I have done more? Is there anything else I could do? What if it happens again? What am I going to do now? Like I've got this scenario in my head where I'm like, here I am walking. Like I just keep replaying it to think, if this would ever happen again, how could I ensure that this never happens to poor Zeus? And I'm going to be honest with you. When I talk to you guys about being law-abiding citizens, and sometimes it's hard keeping in tune with our previous conversation, where I said sometimes it's hard to be a law-abiding citizen. This is one of those situations that if you guys knew how hard it was for me to do the right thing, although the system failed, the dogs are still there. They should have been put down. No dog should be able to kill another animal in cold blood and live to see another day. I'm sorry. The laws of this country have got to be amended. That should be just automatic. There shouldn't be any discretionary power. Nobody goes to court. Oh, well, they paid to have your dog cremated. I'm like, they're not bringing Coco back. That's the least you can do. Poor Coco suffered. It was such a sad situation that, my husband actually refused to let me see her because he said, I don't want you to have that image of her like this in your head because she was such an amazing and wonderful dog. And it takes on a daily basis, I can tell you, everything in me not to kill those dogs next door because I have thought about it a million times of how I could do it. And I'm not even concerned about getting away with it. This is the crazy thing when you're so just upset about a situation. Every time I think about what an amazing dog she was and how she lost her life and she shouldn't have. Because people are not socializing their dogs. These dogs don't get out anywhere. They're just tied up in a yard. They have all this pent up aggression and anger. They should be dead. They should not be able to live to see another day. Trust me. Somebody say kill the owners. Well, that's crossed my mind too, but that would definitely be against the law. Good morning, caller. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. You lost your keys. Okay, but we're live on air right now, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look at the messages after the show. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a look, but we're live on air right now. Okay, there. Lost keys. But trust me, I've thought about, I'm like, how do you kill a dog? I don't even know how to do it because it's never really crossed my mind before. It's a horrible thing for me to even admit to you that I've thought about it, but I'm going to be honest, I have thought about it. And like I said, I'm not worried about, the police going to come, you're going to get arrested and go to court. That would be worth going to court for as far as I'm concerned. That's not my worry. My thing is, wow, what kind of person does that make me? Despite what they did to my beloved Coco, I can't really bring myself after the fact to kill another dog. But it has definitely crossed my mind. I've thought about it. And I'm like, let me go work out some concoction and give him a piece of meat. And then that'll be, I'm the one who's living in fear every single day. My fear will be alleviated if I do this. And then I think, Sandy, you can't do that. But the system should have been, it's the same dogs, Soka, the same dogs over there living their best life. It's actually going to be 3 years, the end of this month when this happened, when Coco lost her life on the 30th of the month. Coco was in great health. The vet said that she fought so well that spoke to how healthy and good condition she was in. She had a very, very good life. And so, that's the only little comfort that I get out of the situation for 10 years that we were, that was my buddy. And it's scary. Like it's a fearful situation to have gone through and to have been there and witnessed it. Even now, my daughter still talks about it, about what happened to Coco. Those bad dogs never went to jail. Children don't even understand when something so horrific like this happens. For her, thankfully, she was so young that the memories will fade to some extent. Although she used to go around telling people it was her fault. What happened to Coco, which was just so sad, a 4-year-old thinking that it was her fault. It would be easy to do the wrong thing in a situation like this, but sometimes you got to take, the more principled and correct path. And I only hope that they don't live much longer. I mean, I know this sounds horrible, but like I said, I'm being honest with you all. I, on a regular basis, said, okay, how much longer can these dogs possibly live? To my detriment, to my fear every single day. And these people do not need to own dogs again. If you have dogs and you don't understand the importance of socializing your dogs so that when they see other dogs, they don't attack other dogs, they don't kill other dogs, then you shouldn't be a pet owner. Aliana says, sounds like you have PTSD. Well, I don't know what to call it. But I can tell you that it does cause me a good degree of anxiety when I hear them barking and I know they're at the fence. And if Zeus is outside in our fenced-in yard, I don't even allow him to walk up to that side of the fence. We've got other dogs on the other side that he's very, very friendly with. In fact, he looks like he's in love with, what's her name? Chloe and the other dog over that side. And he, has a good relationship with them. But I keep him away from the opposite side of the fence because I'm just so fearful. There are days that I walk, I'm like, should I walk with a machete? Do I walk with a stick? Like, what kind of protection? What can I walk with? It's horrible. So, folks, you got to be responsible pet owners. Even Zeus. Small dogs can be nippy and temperamental and all this kind of stuff. Zeus is going to be a year in February, and I've already sent him to training not once but twice. He did intense 10-day programs. Because I'm like, oh, he's a little bit feisty and he was liking to bark at people. And every morning that we walk, I saw there's two guys that we always pass in our walk where they're going to work. And I noticed one morning that he was kind of like trying to nip at them. And I said, what are you doing, son? That's antisocial behavior. You can't do stuff like that. So when you see your dogs misbehaving, or you have a dog that is temperamental, that might bite people or bite other animals, you need to get the situation under control. And locking the dog up in the yard is not the way that you get it under control. They're actually professionals right here on this island. Big shout out to Miss Julie. I think she's at Must Love Dogs. She offers a training program that will shock you and surprise you at what they can do in a very short space of time with your dog. I mean, Zeus knows his commands. Now, if he doesn't listen, we do have that little collar on him. And yes, I will zap his behind, especially when it comes to putting stuff in his mouth. He's still working on that. But he has really come a long way in terms of his behavior. In fact, he likes to... likes to, when he's around other dogs, he gets so excited, he started barking. And I was like, oh, the barking is a problem, honey Jay. Like, this constant barking is driving me crazy and whatever. He did such a good job. If you see the before and after picture with him, oh my gosh, the videos, he has done such an amazing job with, they've done such an amazing job with him, really just getting that behavior under control. And here's the funny thing. He actually, when he was at training, he found a BFF that he really took to. And guess the name of the BFF? Coco. I was like, what are the chances? Let me show y'all a little video footage of Coco. So yes, him and Coco, BFFs now. Let me show y'all. So one of these was the before and one was the after. Let me see here now. This one is the 12th. Hold on. I think it's both the same. Here's one. I think this is one where he's... Oh, I think this might be after. But if y'all saw the before... Yeah, this is him and his little best friend. And you know what is so funny? Since he's come back from this training session, he likes to go outside now and just lie in the grass and have a good time. Oh, hold on. I think it's another video. But yeah, he's just having a good time, living his best life with his new BFF, Coco. But when they first got started, he would be doing so much barking and carrying on the most. And now he's learning to enjoy himself, but, control himself. And this is important. To socialize them around other dogs. They are actually pack animals, They're social creatures.
Whiskey is annoying use.
So he needs to get used to being around other dogs, what other dogs do, because you know what they do, like to be sniffing each other and whatever. And they teach them good behavior, like you don't have to jump on another dog, you don't have to hump another dog just because you see them. So this was good for him. This was kind of, his first time being around, other dogs.
Susie?
Like this.
Yeah, boy.
And so even Coco, one of the things I used to do with her is I used to send her to doggy daycare. And it really just is a good way for them to burn off some energy and to also, just really enjoy themselves. I'm going to show you the before picture, the before video, which was sent to me. We dropped him off on our way to Greece. And then by the 23rd, I got another one saying, look, Zeus can play without barking. I was like, oh, Lord, this is wonderful. Let me show you this one. Because you'll see that, again, these are professionals and they can really do a lot of amazing things with, let me see now, which one is he? They can do a lot of amazing things in terms of, offering training to your pets. So I think this one is him barking and making a lot of noise. So you see him there, a little bit aggressive, trying to hump this dog, probably knowing him. He was trying to help everybody.
Just good boy, good job.
And then I don't know, he's not barking there, but that's the non-barking one. Hold on. So that's him playing without barking, but there's one where you can tell that he was really quite into the barking quite a bit. So, you have dogs, and the truth of the matter is you want to be able to enjoy their company and enjoy them. And they are just amazing. They add so much quality to your life, but you also, as a pet owner, have to do the right thing by them to offer them the right kind of environment. And if that includes, you might come across a situation that you're not able to handle, that you need a little bit extra help with, then that's available to you by way of these different organizations. So, this is him barking. He's just barking at every dog. He doesn't even know what to do. He's like, what? Another dog? What on earth? What am I going to do with myself? He's being a little bit submissive. They're a little bit older. And they're like, okay, if we want to play, we can play, but you got to play nice, and there are rules to playing. And, it's important to have them around other dogs because this is how they learn proper playing and not be overly aggressive with other dogs and stuff as well. So he's a lovely dog. Absolutely lovely. And what is so funny is he knows exactly, like clockwork. Now that the show, we're going at 10:30, he starts barking at 10:30 because he knows the time. He's like, okay, show's over. Come and get me. I want to do something. It's so funny. Every morning I can look at my clock and go, oh, I hear Zeus, 10:30. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this program today. I wish all of you a lovely Hump Day Wednesday. Tune in tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. and please be safe and have a good one.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.